Hello, football fans, and welcome inside Starlight Stadium for today's Week 11 BCFC matchup between the Langley Rams and the Westshore Rebels. Alongside BC Football Hall of Famer Paul Short, I'm Tyler Bennett. And Paul, the Westshore Rebels in a bit of unfamiliar territory, losers of two straight. What have you seen lately from them?
Well, first loss is the Okanagan Sun. That's a given. Well, I shouldn't say a given, but they have a good football team. And last week, for some reason, this year the Rebels have struggled against the Raiders. I was going through some stats, and they average every other game they play 435 total offense, and against the Raiders in the 3 games they've averaged 217. So there's something there. But also the bugaboo that I've been having all year with the Rebels is penalties. Last week it was 30 for a team record 270 yards. So that's a big difference when you give up that many yards in a tight football game like that.
And the Langley Rams, usually a prominent playoff contender in the BCFC. It's not going to happen this year. They're 2-5-1, out of playoff contention. So, if you're the Langley Rams, Paul, how do you stay motivated and get up for these last couple games of the season?
They want to play football. So I think it's competition and it's the drive of the kids to say, let's go play. It is the first time they've missed the playoffs since 1988. So they know. People will probably remind them. And they're coming over here to play some football, but they're also short-staffed a little bit. They've had a lot of injuries of late, which helps to, worsen it with regards to trying to win a game.
Yeah. And lastly, Paul, big news out of the CFL this week. Some rule changes coming into place. The goalposts are being moved back. The rouges are being adjusted. Just want to get your take from a junior football standpoint into maybe some changes that may be coming down the line for junior football.
Well, from the CFL point of view, we support the CFL and what changes they're thinking about. We haven't really digested the exact impact it'll have on our game. Our concern, or my concern is, we're dealing with municipal fields a lot. Are they going to be able to make the changes? Can we afford to make the changes? So ours might be, the CFL is looking at a 2-year implementation of it. We might be looking at a little bit longer, 3, maybe 4 years to make it all go to where it fits for junior football. And that, to me, that's what we have to be thinking of, is what's right for junior ball. But we also want to have the opportunities for officials as well as our players to get to that next level. So we got to be tied as close as we can.
It's the final regular season game here at Starlight Stadium. It's the Rebels and the Rams. It's coming up next. And we are now down to the field level at Starlight Stadium as we have done the coin toss, Paul. We're getting ready for kickoff here, and it's a lot seniors night here at Starlight Stadium today, honoring the graduating players of the Rebels. And just what does it mean, Paul? You've been a coach, you've been in the locker room to play for these guys who now, barring this is the final regular season home game, last few games of their junior football careers. How hard do you want to play for those guys?
Oh, that's your number one goal. You play the game because you love the game of football, but when you get in a team atmosphere, it slowly becomes ingrained in you that who you're playing for is the guy that sits next to you on the bus, sits next to you in the change room, and then the next guy, and then the next guy. And then once everybody's got that same feeling and love for each other, then that's when you can really truly call it a team, in my opinion. And all the teams in junior football that I've been around, that's what they preach, and that's how they really model their programs to be like. Let's become a team by, number 1, respect, and then number 2, lots of love.
And we are underway here at Starlight as the opening kick sent by Jordan Kranz, and the special teams unit for the Rebels does their job as Braden Look in on the tackle, and that's where the Langley Rams offense will take over. And for the Langley Rams, not a lot to be excited about at the moment, but what can you say about the Langley Rams offense? Bruce Jones has been a big part of their offense this year.
Well, they've struggled. I've got some notes here talking about that. They've only scored 114 points, and the only time they've scored around that was in 1979 when they scored 134. So good game today. That should get above that 39, but it's just one of those years. They've had a lot of injuries. They've been 3 to 4 quarterbacks playing, and what that does is it takes the timing away from a lot of plays. You only have a week to prepare, and usually if you got the one guy that stays healthy, you can go to practice and you can throw every pass you want because you know exactly where a guy's going to be, or you know what type of block and lineman's going to have. So it's just a frustrating year for them, but the Rams are a very, very proud organization, and they're in the right direction, and they're not going to stay down for long, that's for sure. They're 2021 Canadian Bowl champs, so everybody goes through these little down spells, but they'll bounce back.
So on the first play of that drive, that pass was tipped by Seth Beckwith and incomplete, and we have a Langley Ram down on the field. I don't quite have a number at the moment. I believe it's number 1, Reggie Ellie, but not 100% sure here.
Yeah, I think it is. Looks like it could be. No, hopefully it's not what we've been experiencing here at Starlight Stadium with ambulances coming to watch the game as well.
So it looks like Reggie's going to try and get up under his own power, and looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him as he's now up being helped off by his teammates. We love to see that. And,
looks like a left leg.
So Reggie Ellie not putting any weight on that left leg and being carried off. And we'll get back to football here. Hopefully Reggie's okay.
Yeah, it'd be a huge blow. He's one heck of a running back. He leads the team in rushing, and just one of those guys that you can hand him the football and he's going to create yards every time he touches it.
So on the incompletion, it's now 2nd and 10 for Langley, and it is Polina Hooper in at quarterback at the moment. We'll talk about their quarterback situation after this. As a little bit of an audible here, and looks like one of the Rebels jumped the line there as Simon Kerr went offside, so that's going to help out the Langley Rams there. But the Rams, looking online, it looks like they've gone through a smorgasbord of quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. Like I said, Pelena's their number 1 guy. He came into camp as number 1. When he went down, they went with Hunter Norman and just a revolving door of quarterbacks, and they haven't been able to settle on one healthy quarterback for an extended period. And maybe there's the last 2 games, Polina can go show how he shines, because he is a very good athlete.
Here is Hooper. He gets hits as he throws, and it is incomplete as Simon Kerr had it right in and out of his hands. But that is going to cause 3rd down, and it looks like the Rams going to punt the football.
Yeah, it was Tinatong Tedesi, and just a little bit he hurried it because he felt that pressure coming from his backside, and he really had to get the ball out quick. And when that happens, other than Session last week in Nanaimo when he dusted off one of the Raider defenders to throw a great pass down the sideline to Zion. But this time, Polina felt the pressure.
So the first possession for the Rams is going to end up in a punt. As this one, a pretty good kick down the sideline there. That's Antoine Maua, and it's going to be the graduating player, Tristan Ramos-Aravallo. There's a flag on the play, and Ramos-Aravallo going to be met instantly with pressure as he's slammed into the fencing back there. A little bit of a scuffle. And we'll wait and see what this flag is, but not much of a return there for the Rebels, as barring.
Oh, but we do have some laundry on the other side of the field.
Yeah,
we'll see
I'm
what
not sure what that would have called from coming from this side. Oh, they're calling holding, so it's definitely always against the Rebels. 30 penalties last week, which doesn't hurt, and this is their 2nd today. So you don't want to give up free yards that way, especially when you get in those big games. And last week it hurt them. Losing that game to the Raiders. You give up 270 yards and penalty that changes field position pretty quick.
Yeah, let's talk about that Raiders game because Roll Focus, obviously a part of the Raiders broadcast this year. And let me tell you, from watching that game, one of the more exciting 10-8 finals you'll ever see. Torrential downpour, lots of penalties, lots of turnovers. But what did you make of that game from Gavin Session, who only had the 1 touchdown on the day? But boy, oh boy, if you watch some of those highlights, he was dancing out there.
Well, I've always looked at him. He's like a man amongst boys, and he's so strong. His upper body's strong. He runs well, and he has a great eye for the game of football. And I don't think he can play mediocre, but it's a little bit more than what you would think it would be, and he's just such a good athlete, good leader that the players just love him, obviously. But he can make things happen with legs and arms, and he's a big asset to the Rebels organization.
Here is 2nd and 1. Session scanning downfield, throws up the middle. He's got Hoffland, and that is broken up by the DB. As big hit there by Sam Laspa. And Hoffland was shaken up for a moment, but he looks like he's going to be okay, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it just a little hurried on the pass, and the ball sailed on him a little bit, and Tyrell had to go up and get it, but a little bit above his fingertips. And as the safeties are going to come downhill pretty quick on something like that to try to put a hit on you.
I call that a hospital ball, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, hang him out to dry.
So 3rd and 1 here. Rebels going to go for it near their own 40. Session takes a snap, hands off to Carter Williams. He's got the first down and then some before being brought down. As there to make the tackle, that's Samir Mughal for the Rams, and that will move the chains at the Rebels' first down.
Oh, they got great push on the right side of the line, and just enough of a crack. And with Carter's quickness and speed, once he gets to the second level, definitely going to be picking up first downs almost every time he hand him the football.
So nearing midfield now, this Rebels offense stays on the field. Sessions got 4 receivers to his right and Zion Brown on an island at the bottom of your screen. And 1st and 10, and a little bit of trouble there with the ball for Session, but he's got time in the pocket to throw. And there is Zion Brown with the catch, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds, but not before a healthy gain of about 18, as Gavin Session could have gone and got a cup of coffee before throwing that football.
Oh, there's the athleticism of Gavin. As we're low snap on the ground, he's got to pick it up, concentrate on picking it up, then get his head back up, eyes downfield. But I think that was a pre-planned pass all the way, because I noticed when Zion was flanked out, he touched his chest, which he says, I'm in man-to-man, so take a peek at me too.
Zion Brown with a couple receptions already on the day. And what a season he's had. We'll talk about him a bit later. Is 1st and 10, and Carter Williams on the ground breaks through the pocket, and that is going to be another first down as Carter Williams, some good first touches there as he moves the chains again, and that's something that this Rebels team desperately needs down the stretch here, is to improve the run game.
Absolutely, and they average 5.4 yards per carry, which is 6th best in the league at this point. So that's something that they've got to try to improve upon, because we know their passing is number 1 in the league. But if they can get the run game kicked up a touch, that's going to open up a lot for them.
Receivers in motion here on 1st and 10. Session scanning the field, looking down the middle. Here comes the pressure, flushed out of the pocket, looking deep. He's going to throw one to the sideline, but Aiden Bowles, the intended receiver, couldn't get to that ball as it's thrown out of bounds, make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just he got the pressure and he could feel it, and as when he rolled out, he could feel the pressure coming up front. He could see the pressure because it was pretty well in his face, and he just threw it to where if my guy catches it, that's good. If he doesn't, we'll live to play another down.
So 2nd and 10. Ball at the 30-yard line here of Langley, so we're getting close to red zone territory here on the Rebels' first offensive possession of the game. Receivers in motion. Session takes the snap. He's got good protection. And got Session going to throw up the middle, and Tristan Ramos-Aravallo, the intended receiver, but that is incomplete. And it looks like a field goal try is going to be what we're going to have for the Rebels' first offensive possession of the game.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to hit Zion Brown again. Zion made a little post or a flag post cut, and he was working towards the goal post. But Gavin just ran a little bit of time, and he put it up without really setting his feet on that one. And I think they could be pushing a little bit to Zion because he's so close. I think he had 58 receptions coming into the game. And that's going to, and that was at 55.
55.
So yeah. He's now got 57, and the Rebels record is 61. So I think they're probably looking at trying to get him the Rebels record on receptions on a year.
Here is a 35-yard field goal attempt from Charlie Wiersma. It's up and good. So good boot from Charlie Wiersma. And the Rebels have the first score of the day. It is 3-0. And not a bad offensive first drive here for the Rebels.
Again, and that's what the Rebels have done all year. Their first couple drives, they move the football with authority. It's like they're smacking the other team in the mouth. But then as the game progresses, I guess they lose that edge because now we got a lead, and they lay back a little bit, and they've allowed other teams to climb back into games. And if they can keep the foot on the gas, it could be a long, long day for the Rams.
So the Rams take over at their own 35. Hooper on first down. He's going to hand this ball off to Bruce Jones, and he's going to plunge his way into the hole, and he is going to be brought down eventually here after a long tackle there by Seth Beckwith. So they go to the ground, and Bruce Jones, again, one of the key players here for the Rams today. Looking at his stats, 428 rush yards and 2 touchdowns, and he also leads the team in receptions, 13 receptions, 185 yards. So Bruce Jones going to be a key piece to this team if they're going to want to succeed.
Oh, absolutely, and they really missed him when he was injured. He missed a couple games due to injury, and he's just a big, strong guy. He reminds me a lot of Ryan Vincent, just a strong guy that could run the football, catch the football.
Here is a play-action pass on 2nd and 5. It is caught, and that is going to move the chains, as that is Tyson Gallier making the catch, and that's the first down for the Rams this day.
Yeah, Tyson's he's came into this game with 21 receptions for 311 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he's their go-to guy. But that's something that their strong point hasn't been passing this year. They're last in the league pretty well in passing, other than Kamloops. But yeah, they've been struggling.
Here is Bruce Jones on 1st down, and the Rebels' defensive line closes up the pocket immediately. Looks like the ball might have come out, but it was after contact, and they're going to rule that one down on contact, so make it 2nd and a loss of 2 on that 1st down run.
Yeah, we'll find out now if where the Rebels are going to bring some heat, bring some extra guys on the blitz here possibly. Put a little bit of pressure on the quarterback.
It looks like they're at least showing blitz here on 2nd and 12. Hooper, receivers in motion, takes the snap, and here comes the 5-man rush, and Hooper gets it away. Here's the throw, and it is over the head of Gallier and incomplete as Cameron Cohn was in coverage. And that brings up 3rd down and long, and the Rams going to punt this football away once again.
Yeah, and I think that, for Hooper, I think it was one of those passes, again, like Session had in the last drive, is I'm going to put it out there. If my guy catches it, that's great. If not, we're going to punt the football.
So the Rams going to kick this one away, and Antoine Mawa, 2nd punt of the day already, as we tick past the 9-minute mark here in the 1st quarter. Healthy crowd here at Starlight Stadium rooting on the Rebels. Again, it's their final regular season game. They have a bye next week, as Tristan Ramos-Aravallo on the return found a little bit of a hole, but he is going to be brought down abruptly as Lucas Bocking makes the tackle there, and Rebels going to take over near their 40-yard line.
Yeah, again, it's a good starting point again for their 2nd drive. They can stay away from the couple penalties and put some more points on the board here. Then once you get a comfortable lead, then you can relax a little bit. But the key to relaxing is you don't want to get hurt. Even you've got another week off next week where the injuries can heal to prepare for playoffs. But you don't want to take too many plays off to where you're just kind of looky-looing and standing around a pile, because that's when you can really get hurt.
So 1st and 10 as the Rebels offense back onto the field, and they're going to go to the ground for Carter Williams on 1st down. He explores through the pocket, but gain of about 5, maybe 6. Not a bad 1st down run there, as Carter Williams heavily evolved here in the first couple drives.
Yeah, and he deserves to be. He's a shifty runner. He can cut on a dime. He's one of those guys that can zig and zag, and as they say, throw a few zogs in as well, because he is the real deal when it comes to running the football.
So 2nd and call it 4 here for the Rebels. Again, approaching near midfield. Session gets his receivers in motion, takes a snap. It's a quick throw out to Zion Brown. Count that as another reception, and he's got the 1st down as well. So that's number 3 on the day. I'm going to task you with keeping track here, Paul, because I will easily forget. But we're getting close to the record here.
That's 58. He's got 3 more to tie, 4 to break it. I think it's 61, if I remember correctly.
We'll hold you to it. As you see on the replay,
and
good catch.
Leads the league in both categories. He came into the game with 55 receptions for 879 yards, and leads the entire BC Conference in touchdowns scored with 13.
And what a season for number 4, and he's still got 1 left. Crazy stuff from Zion Brown. Is now on 1st and 10. It's Carter Williams. He shifts through the pocket, and that's a healthy run. He stays on his feet, and Carter Williams, another good run. That will move the chains again, as number 28 prominently featured here, and justifiably so.
Yeah, and that's what like I say, and you got to be able to run the football. The more you run the football, when teams see you run the football on film, now they got to adjust what they do defensively. And it really tires you out if you're chasing down guys every second play that's picking up 10 yards, 12 yards a run.
So the Rebels now into Langley territory here. Session got lots of protection here, lots of time scanning the pocket, and now he's got to scramble as finally the pressure gets to him, and he's actually knocked down by his own lineman as Jonah Anderson gets in the way. There was an early flag on the play, so we'll wait and see what that means, but not much doing there on first down.
Yeah, it could have been offside on the Rebels, one of the receivers, but the opposition can't tackle Gavin, so it's going to take one of his own guys to be credited with a tackle.
Yeah, I'll give Jonah a hard time about that after the game, as he went to make a block and unfortunately found his own quarterback.
Yeah, so that was offside Rebels, so they're going to Rams decline it. Since there was a loss in the play, so I'll bring up second down and 12.
So loss of 2 on that one, and now the Rebels going to need a big play to keep the drive alive here.
But these are the type of plays that Gavin relishes because, he says, okay, now I can throw the football. And they throw a lot, so that's the other reason why they don't run for a lot of yards, because they love to throw the football.
So second and 12, Session needing a big completion here. He is scanning deep downfield, now flushed out of the pocket. The throw, it's caught by Aiden Bowles. He's got the first down, and he nearly made a house call there, if not for a good tackle by the defensive back. So number 87, Aiden Bowles with the big reception. And the Rebels get ever so closer to the goal line here. It's a first down.
Yeah, and you can credit that entire play on their offensive line. They just gave Gavin a ton of time to throw the football. He moved around the pocket for a good 2-3 seconds and then decided to throw the football once he got his receiver open. But you might see the Rams adjust some of the defensive call here to maybe to bring some little bit extra heat. But Gavin, again, he's leading the league as a quarterback. He's thrown the most passes, has the most completions, the most touchdown passes, and he's just one of those guys that makes things happen. And again, with his feet as well, which is it's rare to see because he loves to run. You can tell that he's scored touchdowns. He likes to run and he can throw, and he throws on the run quite well. So they've got a good weapon here, and it's going to make for coming down the stretch, make for a very good BC final, if you will. If the Rebels and the Sun are in it, it's going to be one heck of a game. If it's Prince George in it, it's going to be one heck of a game. It doesn't matter who's in it. It's going to be one heck of a game. And everybody in BC, obviously is hoping that at the end of the day that the Ontario champ comes out here and goes home, not going to the Canadian Bowl. And that's the whole plan of all these teams that are playing in BCFC.
That was Travis Richley, the injured Langley Ram. He comes off on his own power, which is good to see. And we will continue with this drive as on first down. It's a handoff to Carter Williams right up the gut. And another solid gain as Carter Williams got to be averaging about 7-8 yards a carry here early on. He's been magnificent here early on, and it makes it second and short.
Yeah, and again, he gets to the line and he runs straight up, but he's able to cut. Like if you see the replay here, he makes that first cut to the left, back to the right, and then he's picking up those yards. And he comes, it's a 9-yard run, and that's probably what he's been averaging this entire game, I would think.
So second and inches, I'm going to call it, not even one, as Session's got a free play pretty much here to go for end zone, and that's what he wants. Is Session going to punt for the middle here, and Blair Van Brushat, that's a tongue twister. He makes the catch, and that will move the chains. It's another Rebels first down.
Yeah, again, lots of time. He was able to stand back there, scan the field. He looked left, he looked right, looked left again, and came back to the right. So the Rams have to do something. They got to put some pressure on them. They got to do some games up front or bring some extra people just to hurry them up a little bit. But they also have to honor what's been happening so far in this first quarter with the Rebels running the running game.
So first and goal here as the ball is right at the 10-yard line here. And Session receivers in motion and fakes the handoff, throws to Zion Brown, and it is caught for a touchdown. As number 4 continues his monster season. That's touchdown number 14, and he inches closer to Rebels history with yet another reception, and that will put the Rebels up 9-0 pending the extra point.
Yeah, just a quick post. Yeah, they're sitting on the 9-yard line, so it's one of those ones that we'll catch it, get as close as you can, and if you can score, that's great because that's just a quick pass, and they're such a good duo together that they understand each other. They get a lot of reps of practice to make, it's like they're holding hands every time they go out in the field. They know exactly where each other's going to be.
Extra point is up and good, so make it 10-0 Rebels here. And, you know, the Rebels, I don't think they'd be in this position at this point in the season, but they need to win this game for a couple reasons. One being that they still don't have home field advantage secured for that second place spot. The Prince George Kodiaks have a game in hand and are down by 4 points. So technically they could come back and take it if the Rebels don't win today. So do you think that the Rebels are kind of surprised that they're still in that position, that they don't have home field locked down?
Yeah, I was talking to Rob Dervold, and Robbie was saying, you know, coming off the loss to the Sun was very downing for them. And then he said last week was just kind of like an energy draining type game because they were already down. And he says, but they recognize that this is an important game, and they feel like they're going to be okay to secure second place. But again, you never know. You have to do something on the field to say we are in second place. Because the last thing you want to do is have to travel, finish in third place, and you'd have to travel to Prince George for a playoff game. That's a pretty tough haul.
So that kickoff was a good job there by the Rebels special teams unit to make the tackle early. As that is Nicole Tedeschi, who was making the return there for the Rams, got a few yards, and the Rams will take over at the 28-yard line. And just to finish the thought on the Prince George Kodiaks, their final 2 games, they're home to Kamloops, the Broncos, next week, and they finish off the season in Valley, taking off the Huskers. So basically the scenarios are the Rebels win today, they have second place, they don't need to worry about it, but if they lose, they need to hope that the Kodiaks don't win out, otherwise the Kodiaks take home field.
Yes, and then it gets into with the scenarios of playoffs. If Rebels win today, the Kodiaks win, will give them 5 wins. If Huskers win today, that would, you know, move them close. They play the Kodiaks at the end, so who's finishing 3rd and 4th? You know, that's everything. Raiders are still involved in it, but they need some help. They would have to win today against Valley and Langley next week, but they need the Valley to upset Prince George because Prince George beat them the only meeting they had in Nanaimo early in the year. So there's still a little few scenarios out there that are going to keep everybody guessing.
There is Bo Newvermont on the sack as number 13 gets into the backfield and makes the tackle. And that's a loss of yardage there for the Rams, and now they are forced to punt this football away.
Yeah, that was just pressure come right up the middle. And once you get that pressure happening up the middle and you get somebody through, the outside pressure now is going to make the quarterback step up. And when he steps up with the inside pressure not being blocked for a very long time is going to result in sacks and hurries like they've had all day.
So 3 offensive possessions and 3 punts for the Langley Rams so far today, but this is a beautiful punt. This is going to back up Remus Aravallo to his own 45, and he's going to look to cut to the outside, but he is going to run out of runway there as he is going to be tackled out of bounds right near the 50-yard line, and that's where the Rebels will take over once again here, and still some time here in the first quarter to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, Mao has been punting pretty good. He's been averaging 36 yards a kick this year, and the first 3 in this game, they've been probably close to 45, almost 50-yard punts. So he's doing what he has to do. Now he just needs his defense to step up and put the Rebels in a punting situation so they can get the football back, because there's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and you're only down 10-0, but you haven't been outside your own 30-yard line yet.
Yeah, only 1 first down to speak of thus far for the Rams offense, and now we get another look at the Rebels on offense as it's a quick screen pass on first down to Aiden Bowles, and the ball is out, but Blair Van Bruschot makes the play as that ball was loose, so it was a little bit of a lateral, and they gained the first down. What a play there.
Yeah, that's just playing with your eyes, keeping your eyes up, and the hit put the football into the air, but it went backwards, so he was able to advance it after he recovered the fumble and gave him the second down, or second and 1.5 here, but heads up play. And
there you see it. Ball's out and stuck with it. Heads up play there, and now it's 2nd and about 2 as Carter Williams cuts to the outside, cuts to the inside, and gets a sizable gain there as the shiftiness of Carter Williams on display there. That's another Rebels first down.
Yeah, again, just good cuts, maintaining his eyes downfield, and he also, you notice when he runs, he keeps his legs underneath him and his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. So he doesn't commit himself one way or the other until the last second.
So 1st and 10 now at the 40. Session, tons of time in the pocket, and he's going to throw up the middle, and it's going to be caught by Aiden Bowles, but another hospital ball, as we're going to call it there. And it's a gain of about 7, as I think Session ran out of options, and the only option was to go right up the middle.
Yeah, and he had a ton of time, and then when that happens, a lot of time when there's good coverage downfield, and you just try to force it. So he threw it up, and he was hoping it was going to be caught, which it was, but sometimes it's a little bit of a ball that floats a bit, and or like you say, a possible hospital ball.
So 2nd and about 4 here is Session. Going to hand off to Carter Williams. He's going to look outside the zone, and he's got some room to run. Here goes Carter Williams, turning on the afterburners, going for the end zone, and he is going to be brought out of bounds just shy. That's a great tackle there by Sam Laspa, number 23 of the Rams, but Carter Williams running wild here in the first quarter.
Yeah, again, just into the line of scrimmage, no hole there. Keep your feet underneath you. Use your eyes. Find the next place to go. He got to the sideline, gets down to the 6, and just one of those runs that, like you see guys do, but if you can actually understand or be down there when it's happening, just how quick and how fast this kid really is.
So the Rebels knocking on the door here in the final seconds of the first quarter, and Carter Williams going to fake the handoff, going for Zion Brown at the back of the end zone, and he's got it for the touchdown. Make that number 2 on the day already, and I think we got this record before the end of the first half here, Paul, as Zion Brown on a tear here, and he puts the Rebels up 16-0 here late in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's what, maybe the game plan was, that's what we're going to try to feed the ball to Zion. But again, on the replay, you can see a great fake, and there was no pressure coming into Gavin at all. And with the fake up the middle, it kind of froze the DBs a bit because they're looking at the quarterback, and they got to make sure he didn't hand off. And Zion just snuck in behind them into the corner, and a perfect pass for the score.
Here's the extra point kick by Charlie Wiersma. It is up. It is good. So make it 17-0, and Gavin Session, again, graduating from junior football here, basically came down here for a year to get some highlights on tape and kind of learn the Canadian game and, try and turn this into a bigger opportunity. And boy, oh boy, has he ever done that. 24 touchdowns now on the season for him. And, just can't say enough about what he's done for this program this year.
Well, they kind of, they came from T. Jesse, and then Gav shows up, and they haven't missed a beat because of it. And that's one thing the Rebels have been known for the last few years is good quarterbacking. Whoever's in camp is good, and whoever comes through the system ends up being a really good quarterback. So whoever's looking after their quarterbacks, and I'm going to say Rob Lerville because Robbie's I don't want to call him a quarterback guru, but he knows his stuff. He can definitely help these young guys.
And Ethan Picard, who came in last year, he backed up T. Jesse during that big 2023 season. He's actually at the field today. I saw him during warm-up.
Right?
So good to see Ethan Picard back around. And, just great quarterbacks through this program for the last handful of years. And really that opens up everything because when you have a good quarterback, you can run the ball, you can throw the ball. It just opens up so many options.
Oh, absolutely. And it's, again, one of those things that if you could throw the football, it opens up the run game. If you had a good running game, it opens up the pass game. And if you can balance that out, you're going to have teams on their heels the entire game.
Here is Bruce Jones on the screen pass on first down, and he's going to get some fairly good yardage here before being brought down by Darius Hume. So number 28, Bruce Jones, being prominently featured, as that will move the ball past midfield and make it 2nd and 3.
Yeah, just a little swing pass, and being the leading receiver on the team, Bruce is going to pick up what he can. And that one there, he picked up 8. See in the replay, he's just getting what he can get. Get downfield and pick up some yards. I noticed Reggie Ellie is on the sideline without a helmet, so hopefully he'll be back in. I like to watch him run. I watched a few games the Rams playing, and I'm very, very impressed how a runner he is, how strong he is as a runner. So hopefully he's okay to play, and if not, hope him all the best. Hope he's ready to go next week in Nanaimo.
So that's the end of the first quarter as we switch sides here, and the clock begins to run on the second quarter of action here at Starlight Stadium. The Rebels already up 17-0. Again, these two teams met in week 7, and the Rebels walked away with a 52-6 win in Langley. So the Rebels had a lot of success against the Rams this year. And they're looking to continue that today as there's a big stop there right at the line of scrimmage, and that makes it 3rd and short. And looks like the Rams going to stay on the field here and go for it.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't get the number who came off the edge there, but he made Bruce step back in. And once you have to step in and stop your feet before you decide where you're going to run, the rest of the red guys were there. They put them on the ground for a little bit of a loss. So this is you have to gamble. You're to the playoffs. Go gamble and do what you can do, but don't give up.
So 3rd and about 2 here, and the Rams going to try and keep this drive alive. Receivers in motion. Hooper looking downfield. Here comes the pressure, and that one is going to be nearly intercepted as Bronson Pfeiffer was there, but it's off the turf and incomplete, but that's a turnover on downs, and the Rebels going to take over here.
Yeah, and again, it's pressure, Rebel pressure coming from the defense. It made Polina just move his feet and start to back up. Once he starts backing up, you lose all your power. You can't step into a throw, and that one was into the ground. And turnover and downs, as you say, and the Rebels have really good field position at their own 50-yard line.
Bo Nevermont getting into the backfield there in a hurry, forcing that ball to get away. And that will be a turnover. And back out comes the Rebels offense, who's been nearly perfect to this point. They've gotten 3 opportunities. They've got 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and going to look for more here. And I think we're, 3 receptions away from the record here, Paul?
Yeah, last one I thought he came 59 on that last touchdown catch he had.
Here is Tyrell Hoffland, flag in the backfield there, but he gets a good gain here going to the outside. And we'll wait and see what this flag is, as this play might be coming back.
Yeah, it could be, might have been something against the Rams. It could have been too many, legal substitution. Late, once the officials, as soon as the referee blows the whistle for the play to start, they put their arms up, and that's the call closing the gates. And once that happens, you can't have a player on the field coming off the bench, and so that's what it was. But they picked up the first down, so that would have been a declined penalty by the Rebels.
So it's still 1st and 10 as the Rebels now on to the Langley side of the field at the 50. In session, empty backfield set here. Receivers in motion. He's got time in the pocket to throw. He's got a man. It's Tyrell Hoffland. That's complete and then some, as number 82 going to be brought down near the 35, but it takes 4 Langley Rams to do so, as all of this talk about Zion Brown as the Rams think they've got a fumble recovery here. We'll take a quick look at that on the replay shortly. But
I don't think so.
For all the talk about Zion Brown, Tyrell Hoffland has also had a terrific season. He came into this one with 42 catches, 493 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And I mean, if not for Zion Brown, he'd be leading a lot of teams in the league with those kind of numbers.
Oh, absolutely. And he's the only player in the league this year that's returned a kickoff for a touchdown. And he's a real dangerous return man, both punt return as well as kickoff return. And and when you have that luxury of having a receiving pair like that, but the Rebels have got a couple other guys that are lighting it up as well. So the receiving core in the Rebels is probably man for man the best in the league. The Sun have tremendous receivers, but the Rebels across the board have some great football players, and they're making things happen. Not to take anything away from the Okanagan Sun receivers, because they are just exceptional athletes. And so that's why, everybody's kind of hoping for a Rebels Sun Cullen Cup, just because of the excitement that it's going to produce.
So C.J. Augustine is the injured Langley Ram. There's been a few Rams who have come off early in this game, and looks like he's going to be okay, but he needs to get some work.
He's running. He's a great kid. C.J. was the Canadian Junior Football League Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, and I got to meet him and have dinner with him in Windsor last year. So just a quality young man. Just a quality young man.
Gavin Session with a Houdini act to get away from that tackle, but he had no options, and he's just going to slide down to avoid losing some serious yardage on a sack. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 here.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He's able to recognize when to get out, when to go, and more importantly, when to get on the ground. He doesn't need to take an unnecessary hit. And on this one here, as you can see, he knows the player's coming. I'm going to get down. I don't need to get crushed.
Especially right before playoffs.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 9 here. Session got 2 receivers on each side of the field. He's looking immediately left, and he's going for Zion, and he's got it. Let's see if he's in bounds.
Yeah, they're giving it to him.
And that is in bounds, so mark another catch and another first down as Zion Brown having a monster first half here, and now the magic number down to 2.
Yeah, 2 when you break this. That was his 60th catch on the season, and he's probably well over 1,000 yards receiving right now, I would think, too. It was 859 coming in.
879, yeah.
Yeah, well over, yeah. So they can still get a first down here. They're not quite. They're down to about the 11-yard line, so they get a good opportunity.
Here is Ryan Vincent up the middle. Ryan Vincent chugging for the end zone, doesn't quite get there. But Ryan Vincent all the way from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan with a healthy run, gain of about 9, and that brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, again, it's just one of those runs that we're going to go up the middle. Everybody get your hands on a guy, block him. And we'll let the running backs create their own crease, see what crease is open, and make a cut through it and get what you can. And if you can get into the second level, you're always going to pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
So the Rebels knocking here at 2nd and short near the goal line. Ryan Vincent is the back, and receivers in motion, and fakes the snap here. Sessions has some trouble, and he is going to be brought down for a big loss as the Rams bring the heat there. As that was Cade Handy, who I believe leads the BCFC in tackles coming into this one.
Just behind Caden Crow from Prince George.
Second. Yeah, sorry. 34 tackles and an interception for Cade Handy on the year. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, he's a ball player. Yeah, Gavin there on that one there, he wanted to throw it right away, but he had to pull it down because the receiver didn't have his eyes around, and Cade just had too much pressure on him right away, and then nowhere to escape.
Rebels have a personnel issue here. And looks like a delay game maybe coming here. If Charlie can get this ball out quick, Zion in position. Looks like it might be salvageable as here's the hold, the throw. There is a flag on the play, but it is up and through, but hold on here as I'm not sure these points will count. And Charlie might have to re-kick this one from a few yards back as the officials intervene, and looks like this
offside. You might see a change of offensive thought here now. Instead of, do you take the points off the board, you're up 20-0, or do you put the offense? It looks like the offense is coming back on.
So that will move the ball up, and no more field goal attempt for Charlie Wiersma. They're going to go further for 6.
Yeah, not a bad call, because if it doesn't happen, you're still up 17-0. And you put the Rams in a huge hole, and they'd be starting from their own, looks like about 5-yard line, 4-yard line if they don't get in here. But they can still get a first down. That's the other thing. If they get inside the 1, that should give them a first down.
So Ryan Vincent in the backfield here. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and it's going to be Vincent up the middle, and he's going to be brought down pretty soon. I don't know if they got this. Let's wait and see where the ball is spotted. It could be a turnover on downs here.
Yeah, he went. They didn't get a real good push there. Yeah, I give the Rams credit on that one. That was a good goal line stand on their part, and you get a little bit excited about that. Now you hope your offense comes out and has an opportunity to get a first down or 2, and use up some clock as well as to finish it with a score.
Travis Richley, who was injured earlier in the first quarter, was the one that actually made that tackle. So good to have him back on the field there for the Rams. And now the Rams are going to take over, but they are deep in their own territory here. The ball's at about the 2, maybe the 3-yard line here. So they got their work cut out for them here, as they haven't had a lot to cheer about on offense to this point.
No, they certainly haven't. And this is you look at that far goalpost when you're down there, and that's a long way.
So Hooper in his own end zone to start this drive, and they're going to hand the ball off to Bruce Jones, who gets some positive yardage there, gain of about 5, which is what you got to do when you're that close to your own goal line. So that will make it 2nd and about 4 here near the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what Bruce does. What Bruce does is Bruce does. He just gets the ball, and he picks up 6, 7 yards each time he touches it. and he moves the chains when he has the opportunity, but he's a dual threat running the ball and catching it. So you're always going to feel happy when you hand him the ball because you know it's going to be positive.
So the Rams going to look to move the chains here. It's 2nd and 5 as Hooper takes the snap. He looks downfield. He's going to throw it, and that one is going to be incomplete as that was too short of a throw. And that intended receiver is Rush Henderson, but that is going to bring up 3rd down, and the Rams going to be forced to punt this football away.
Yeah, again, it was just pressure from the Rebels. Pelena didn't have a really good chance to set his feet to make things happen where he was comfortable to throw, and the ball was short and he couldn't step into it to keep it above the ground. I wouldn't be surprised to see them giving up a safety here. You know, you're going to be punting the ball, and there's not a lot of wind, so you're not with the wind or against the wind, but you're going to give the Rebels great field position here with a punt.
So let's see what the Rams are going to do here, and they are going to take the knee. So that is a safety. Tack on 2 points there for the Rebels, make it 19-0. And the Rebels going to take over on their side of the field here and look to extend this lead.
Yeah, and it's smart play. You know, no sense turning it over. 2 points. You're already down 17-0, and you know you're going to give the Rebels the ball. It's going to be at their own 35-yard line and 1st down. But it's just, yeah, I thought that's smart coaching by Coach Colbert, and just to keep things happening and keeping your defense after coming off what they just did, you know, to try to continue that now.
So the ball at the Rebels' 35-yard line. And again, the Rebels have a bye week next week, and let me tell you, Paul, they could use that bye week to try and get healthy. And they've got lots of lingering injuries and some key players out. Gio Lanuzzi still not in the lineup. One of their key defensive backs, Isaiah Boutin, another key DB that's out. And no Jeremiah Beckwith. He wasn't in pads all week. So they're really going to use this bye week to try and get healthy ahead of the playoffs.
Yeah, you have to. And for the Rebels, it came at the perfect time. And it's similar to what the Sun have. The Sun got the bye this week. Next week they go to Kamloops. I'm not saying that's a bye, but anything can happen when you're playing the game real and at full speed. So for both teams, they get a bit of an advantage at this point. But it's a 10-game season, and you're practicing, 5-6 days a week. Not a lot of banging at practice, but it takes a toll on your body, and everybody else in the country plays 8 games, so they have a bit of advantage that way from a standpoint of not having a lot of hit days. But yeah, you really need the rest, and hopefully the injuries from all the players in the league, heal very, very quickly, because it's the last thing you want to do is to finish your football career with something that happened because you're just playing a game. But it's a good time for the Rebels to heal up for next week, and hopefully they get some of their key guys back, or for in 2 weeks, sorry. Because it'll be interesting to find out who they play. They could be playing Prince George here, and the Nanaimo taking 4th and going to Kelowna for the playoffs. And there's a lot of variables right now and what ifs.
First down, it's Carter Williams, and this time the Rams get there, and they stuff him at the line. Not even a gain there for Carter Williams. That's the first time that's happened today. So good job by the Rams D-line as they've made some adjustments here, and that's going to make it 2nd and long.
Yeah, Brody Mueller just came across very, very quickly on that one and stuffed it right away. And then once you make that first guys miss, then the troops can get there to help.
So 2nd and 10, empty backfield set here. Sessions got time in the pocket. Now he's got to scramble for it a little bit, and Blair Van Bruschot makes the tackle, but not nearly enough for the first down. And the Rams sideline calling for a hold there. I think they were justified in doing so, but regardless, 3rd and 5, and for the first time in this game, the Rebels going to have to punt this one away.
And that was good coverage by Sean Cullen from the Rams. He was right on top of him, and no escape. Just put him on the ground, get him out. But it looked like Sean came off limping a little bit. But I noticed on the previous play he was limping a bit. So might have a little something twigged in the foot and knee area. Yeah, the Rams, this is the third time that they've had a little bit of problem with special teams and personnel. And a lot of that happens, too, when the injuries happen.
So out of bounds goes the Rams returner. It's a little bit of a mad scramble there on the Langley sideline. I think they saw their life flash before their eyes a little bit, that they were going to give up a free first down there after getting the stop. But luckily the refs let that one slide. The player came off, but there is a flag down near where the ball came out. And we'll see what this penalty is.
Yeah, it's definitely holding against the Rams. It happened as soon as the ball was received, and that happens a lot. But on the struggles they're having with offense or with special teams, it comes down a lot of times to personnel changes due to injury and guys just forgetting or, coming off defense, got to get back on there type thing, and forgetting about that. But they'll get that ironed out.
Here's a screen pass to Bruce Jones on first down. He makes a man miss, but then the troops come in to finish the job there for the Rebels, and it's going to be a small gain there as Bruce Jones already got a few receptions on the day. He's had a few rushes, and he's been real important, but that one not going to do much. It's going to be second and long.
6-3 Raiders, and early in the probably around the same time, because the game's kicked off over in Valley at 4 o'clock as well, and the Raiders are up right now 6-3.
So that's a game we'll keep our eyes on because, man, if you're the VI Raiders and the week you had last week against the Rebels, if you do come into this as a potential playoff matchup, man, they're going to feel good about that. As Bruce Jones now on second down is going to get a few yards this time, but not enough for a first, and the Rams going to punt this ball away.
Yeah, again, just, they with Reggie Ellie on the sideline, their main threat is Bruce, and you can feed him and feed him and feed him, and he's going to get what he can get. But at some point, you're going to have to open it up a touch and get the ball in the air a little bit deeper, push the defensive backs back. That also moves linebackers into areas where they haven't been all game, and it opens up holes for you to run through and or to pass through into the zones. Yeah, the Raiders, they win out. They have a good chance of, they take fourth, I guess, because I would assume that Prince George will beat Kamloops tonight, but and since they Kodiaks beat the Raiders earlier in the year, that would put the Raiders in the playoffs, which would be a huge accomplishment for a team that's been struggling over the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm. I thought the Raiders had an outside shot at third. I didn't realize that they were pretty much playing for fourth at this point. But
yeah,
I guess because if Kodiaks have 9 points, I think that the Raiders have 5.
Yes.
And they probably hold the tiebreaker as well. Right?
Yeah.
So that would rule that out. But one day we'll get our Rebels-Raiders playoff game here.
Yeah, true.
I just remember, I don't remember what year it was. It was still when Jake LeBerge was the quarterback. But it was one of those torrential downpour games, and the Rebels were up. And at that time, they were the underdogs against the Raiders. And, all year led up to that season, the Rebels were up late, and Jake LeBerge just stuffed it down the Rebels' throat for the final drive of the game. And it was quite the scene because, obviously with these island matchups, you have half of the stadium is in red and half the stadium's in black, and there were shouting matches in the stands. And like I said, it's ingrained in my brain. It was one of my early memories that made me fall in love with junior football here, because it just, some of the stages that get set and sports in general is just the lure of anything can happen. And one of my fond early memories of covering this league. And I'm really hopeful that, over the last couple of years, the Raiders have really closed that gap. I mean, all 3 games this year and last year were all within arm's reach. So I'm real hopeful that in the next year or two here we get another all-island playoff matchup, because that would be electric. That
would be, and it's one of those things that, the Raiders used to just to dominate the Rebels all the time. I think I don't know how many times they played, but it's like they won 20, 25 in a row over them. And then as the Rebels improved, the Raiders started to slide a little bit. But when they do get together, there's passion, and it's just like a whole different time. It would be like it's when Langley plays Valley, or Kamloops Kelowna play. There's a vicinity involved, and especially with this one, they call it the Battle of the Rock between the Rebels and Raiders. It's got a little bit of meaning to it. I'd love to, maybe I should look into it, is to see if we can find some sort of trophy that looks like Vancouver Island, and you make that, like one of the games, the annual Battle for the Rock Award. And And you get so much you can do. I've always felt that the Raiders and Rebels, if they put their sort of I don't want to say hatred because it's not really hatred, but they're just stuff that goes on between them aside, they could really build football on Vancouver Island. Just getting together and coming up with a plan to how do we grow it, how do we promote it, and just take it to the next level.
Plana Hooper, lots of time in the pocket, going for the home run ball, and that is incomplete, and the Rams want a PI call.
Yeah, I kind of think
doesn't look like they're going to get it. I think they might have an argument here, Paul.
Well, I thought the ball might have been over his head, what the deep official saw. But he did definitely have a hold of the back of his jersey, and he wasn't climbing all over him, but he was holding him up, I think, from getting that football. You can see here. But, yeah, maybe the official, because where the Rams receiver was, blocked out where the hands were of the Rebels receiver.
Rush Henderson, the intended receiver, incomplete, and that brings up 3rd and very long, so the Rams going to have to punt this ball away. So tough play there as it's a high snap. Oh, athletic play there by the punter to haul that one in, as Antoine Maua had to reach to the 11th level to get that one, but he does so and avoids the catastrophic play, and Rebels going to take over near their own 40.
Yeah, kicked that out of bounds, and he was, like you say, he was lucky to get that off because that ball was definitely going over his head, so he did his best Michael Jordan impression to get up there and grab that. That was a really good snag with one hand, and to be able to get the ball back and down in his feet on the ground to make the punt.
The ball just shy of the 40-yard line, call it 38. And that's where Gavin Session, we haven't seen him in a while here, as it's been a little while since the Rebels offense has been out on the field, but he comes back with just past the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter.
Yeah,
back on some points here.
The Rams, their defense has been playing pretty darn good as of late. And again, if they can put the Rebels in, turn the ball over in this series, they should get it back in pretty good shape. But there, the Rebels pick up a first down, so that's not going to stop the clock. Because with 4:45 to go in the first half, it's been pretty. When you look at it from a standpoint of a team that had 30 penalties last week, I think the Rebels have only maybe at 4 today. But the game is young.
Yeah, Tristan Ramos-Aravalo making the catch, one of the graduating players that were celebrated before the start of this game, 5th-year player in the CJFL. And Rams having some trouble with personnel. They didn't have a corner on the far side of the field. Tristan Ramos-Aravalo going to try and expose it. He's got a man open, and it is caught as number 81 going to the end zone, and that is a touchdown as the Rams defense fails to pick up their man, and Tristan Ramos-Aravalo makes them pay. It's a major score, and the Rebels take a 25-0 lead.
Oh, that was one heck of a throw. That ball was perfectly thrown to where the quarterback led the receiver, and it went over the shoulder, and he didn't have to break stride, not allowed him to score because DP was right on him. You can see on the replay here, he had to adjust, but so he able to keep the stride, and the defensive back could not keep up because he didn't have to break stride to wait for the football. Fabulous, fabulous play.
A dot from Gavin Session, his 3rd passing touchdown of the day. And here is the extra point kick. It is up, it is through. So that makes it 26-0 Rebels here late in the first half. And Gavin Session continues to rack up the touchdowns. I know the CJFL record is 41 because T. Jesse said it while we were up here in the booth.
Yes.
But kind of out of reach given this is the last game of the year, but just a crazy season from Gavin Session.
It is, and anytime you throw 25 touchdowns, when you throw 20 touchdowns and you do it over a 10-game period, that's pretty good for a game that it's evolving into more passing than running, but it's still more running than passing. And to throw 2 touchdown passes a game, 3 touchdown passes a game, that's just phenomenal.
So Charlie Wiersma going to kick this ball away. Looks like they might be trying for another onside or squib kick here. No, this one's a healthy one. Deep into the Langley backfield there. As that is Natul Tedessi going to return it here, and he is not going to break the tackle, so a good job by the Rebels special teams unit as Simon Kerr in on the tackle, and the Rams going to take over near their 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's what Simon Kerr is noticed for, is the special team tackles. All year has been doing it. I think he leads the Rebels with special teams tackles, and when you have a guy like that, he's indispensable when it comes to all the kicking game, as well as he plays pretty good defense as well.
So the Rams back out on the field looking to get some points on the board here before the end of the first half, and haven't really been that dangerous to this point.
No, I think, again, it's, with Reggie Ellie on the sideline, and things just haven't been really out there working for them. And this is the first pass, I think, that's deep like that. That's what, an 18-yard, 20-yard pass. That's the first one today, I think, that they've thrown and completed.
Yeah, Rush Henderson making the reception there deep in the secondary. So Polina Hooper gets a big reception there, and that moves the chains for, I believe, the second first down of the game here for the Rams.
Yeah, and it's, and again, little positive things. I don't think the Rams came in here thinking, we're going to blow the Rebels out, man. But, you come in and play a game. You never know what's going to happen at the end of it. But the whole key is the Rebels jumped on them early, and now you got to sort of pick yourself up and get your mind back into the game that we're in this. We're still playing here.
Nice catch there by Rush Henderson.
Oh, they're saying incomplete.
Oh. Rush Henderson can't believe it. Even the line official says that's a catch. Let's see the replay. You be the judge. That's a catch.
No, he dropped. I could see his right hand came off it, so he didn't survive contact with the ground. Yeah.
Well, great effort regardless.
Absolutely.
By Rush Henderson to make that play happen, but it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line here. Hooper, receivers in motion, takes the snap. It looks like the Rams are offside, so they're going to go for a free play here, and just incomplete, although wouldn't have meant anything because Tyson Galli was offside. So this play is probably just going to be declined, and Rams going to be forced to punt once again.
Yeah, and I think it was a good pass. I think what happened is Hooper just felt a little bit of the pressure, and you can see on the replay as he puts it up, it sails a little bit on him, but just too much air under it, just to push it way to the right. And if it was on a line, I think that would have been a touchdown.
So the special teams unit back out for the Rams. They're going to have to punt this football away. And Paul, just to finish your thought on the Rebels' discipline, it hasn't been really these kind of games where discipline has really been an issue. It's more against, I know there's some hatred for the Okanagan Sun definitely within the Rebels, but and the Raiders, again, the island rivalry, it always gets heated when those teams meet. It's more about those meaningful games against those potential playoff matchups that it seems that the other teams find a way to get under the Rebels' skin a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what happens is things unfold in a game that you can't control, and you try to control it yourself. And when you do something, and what that does is allows the opposition to, like you say, that maybe they chirp, maybe there's, like a push in the back that's not called, and you take it upon yourself the next time to say something, but you say it the wrong time. There's an official there, that type of thing. And I noticed it happens to the Rebels as another team starts to score and climb back into the game. That's when they start to get upset, undisciplined, I guess is the best term for it. And it last week it hurt them. They lost that game that they should have won. I thought the first game against the Sun, they had a really good, healthy halftime lead, and they took, I forget what the penalties were, but they had well over 20, and they ended up losing that football game. And that's the one thing they have to overcome. That's the number one thing, in my opinion, that the Rebels, if they can limit the silly penalties, there's penalties that, are going to happen in a game like holding, but it's the talking penalties, it's the offsides, it's the downfield illegal blocks that you can control yourself. You control those, and you're going to have an opportunity to put your name and raise up the Cullen Cup.
So the Rebels going to take over here just shy of their 35-yard line. Here comes Ryan Vincent right up the gut, and what a run from number 34 is Ryan Vincent going to move the chains with a healthy run, and that's the Rebels' first down.
Yeah, again, just nice and easy. Hand the ball off, find the hole, and run. And if you get past the line of scrimmage, as you can see on the replay here, he got through it nice and clean. Nobody put a hand on him. Once you get into that second level, now you can make your cuts. You can make guys move their feet, and they have to chase you and, take the proper angles to put you on the ground.
So 1st and 10, flags all over the place as Zion Brown makes the catch, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 7, but we'll wait and see what these flags mean. Could be offside Rebels. And
If that stands, he's tied the Rebels record for receptions in a year.
Wait and see.
Yeah, they're going to take they're declining the penalty, I understand, so that would officially give, Zion tying Blaine Kruger with 61 pass receptions. I can't remember the year Blaine did it. It was like maybe 2007, something like that. But he also had a pretty good quarterback throwing the ball to him. Nate Code he was the offensive player of the year in 2007 in the CJFL, and what a quarterback that kid was, man, oh man.
So I think they actually did accept the penalty here.
Oh, they did, yeah. So sorry, Zion.
Yeah, no, we'll re-rack that in a few minutes here. But yeah, Rob didn't quite understand, I think, the penalty. So that will make it 1st and 5 now. So Session going to throw right to Zion again on the exact same out route, and he makes the catch. Okay, Paul, you can see it all over.
All right, he's got tied the record. All right. Blaine Kruger was the whole record holder. Penalty flag there too. I'm not sure what that was, unless they're calling a pick. Take a look here to see who the official's talking to. He's talking to the Rams.
And
so
big man down for the Rebels as well, and it doesn't look good.
Oh, knee.
Yeah. And again, the Rebels have had a ton of injuries to that offensive line, especially early on the year. I mean, Session, he's been sacked about 16 times, I believe, this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were in the first 5 or 6 weeks. And I know, talking to Rob Lervold, that it was a real struggle both on the O-line and the D-line. They had big guys going down every week.
Yes,
so, this is, again, something you don't want to see. They do have the bye week next week, but with playoffs so close, I mean, it's so tough to see these guys go down.
Oh, absolutely. And O-linemen are a rare breed as far as you don't have a whole bunch of them in camp. So, and the guys that you do have, they bang all the time. So they're going to be the ones that get injured all the time. And it's not just knees and ankles. It's your thumb, your baby finger, things that nag you, that just bother you when you're trying to do your job. And, yeah, it's one of those ones. I know all the teams have been experiencing a lot of offensive and defensive lineman injuries. And I don't want to say that it's normal, but it just seems to me that we have more of them than we used to have. You'd have 1 or 2, 3 during the season. Now it's like everybody on both offensive and defensive lines go down at some point during the year.
That's Shamar Solberg of the offensive line, who is coming off under his own weight, which is good to see, and seems to be in okay spirits. So hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, he seems to be wide. He's a little, got a little limp there, but yeah, coach pats him on the back, so he's probably feeling okay. Just take a bit of a rest for the rest of the half. And
yeah, we saw some smiles, which is always what we like to see when the players are coming off. So we're back to football, and it's 1st and very long here after some penalties, and Session going to need a big reception. He's got one. Tyrell Hoffland on an island, breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and he's going to be brought down at the 40, and there's a flag at the end of this play here. It was Tyrell Hoffland with a huge reception. And barring some penalties, that's going to move the chains in a big way.
Again, great catch by Tyrell. It was just one of those ones. Come over the middle, square up, get upfield, and then you start to make guys miss. And that's exactly what he did. So it's penalty against the Rebels, so that's going to go back a bit. But I think it was probably after yards gained, so it'll be 1st down from where the penalty occurred. I didn't see what the official call was, but
neither did I. I was tuned in on our great replays being provided all game here by Scott in the truck.
I see what he gets here. Objectionable conduct.
Bench.
It was on the bench, so that's why it came from this side. This official, I guess they were in his ear over something. But it was after yards the first down was gained, so it just moves the ball back to the 45-yard line with 2 minutes to go, and they still have possession, first down.
So that's where the ball will be spotted, at the 45-yard line of the Rams, and we are within the 2 minutes here of the first half, and the Rebels going to try and tack on a few more points here.
That could have been also the Rebels hugging the sideline and the official running down to cover the play and just running into one of the players or a coach on the sideline. And
there is Zion Brown, great catch, and no better way to set the record than that leaping grab there.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic catch. He got up really high for this one. He's such a great athlete, you know, and he runs like, in my opinion, like an antelope. He kind of soft. He just makes things happen by not looking like he's going fast, but what a catch. That was a tremendous catch.
And way to hold on through the contact there as that moves the ball up into the 25-yard line of the Rams. Receivers in motion on first down. Session looking right. He's got a man, and guess who? Zion Brown. No one around him, and he breaks a tackle before he is going to be brought down by 4 Rams there after a moderate gain. So tack another reception on, as now we're just counting on top of what the record already is. And Paul, I was meaning to look this up, but didn't get there. What's the record for touchdown receptions by a receiver? Because man, oh man, he's got a lot this year.
It might be 18. I think I'll have to double check. I got to check that when I get home. But
I was just thinking about that. I'm like 13. It's probably a little bit higher than that, but it can't be much higher than that because, he's at 15 now on the season, and over a 10-game season, that is pretty impressive.
That is.
Session going to be forced to roll out of the pocket. He's looking for Zion, and that one's going to be marked incomplete, but there is a flag.
That should be PI. Yeah, I think it's 18 by Chris Shallow, who incidentally is the president of the new Rebels Alumni Association. Yeah, Chris was a really good receiver. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't want to say, I don't think there was anybody in the BCFC that was over 20, but I'd have to double check that.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I was just thinking of it before the game today, of looking at Zion's stats. For yardage, for touchdowns, for receptions, it's been a historical season for number 4.
Oh, no kidding.
And, like I said, he's still got 1 year left here if he wants to come back.
Yeah.
So, in terms of career yardage, he could also be on the hook for that as well next year, something to keep an eye on.
Yes, absolutely. And I think Blaine Kruger's also holds that, because Blaine was here 3 years, and he was a very good receiver.
Here's a quick out to Zion Brown, and he is in for the touchdown. That's number 3. Paul, we might have to be looking out for this record.
No kidding. There we go.
There is a bunch of flags here. I'm assuming it's for the celebration. But you know what, Zion? You got 3 touchdowns and a half. You can do whatever you want. Hingle McCringleberry style.
Yeah, I just got to, like when you do that, it's good. You're celebrating, you feel good about yourself. But I always remember what Tom Landry said with the old Dallas Cowboys is act like you've been there before. And you can certainly say that Zion's been there before.
You know what? I don't even think that flag was on Zion at the replay. I think that was on somebody else.
It's unnecessary roughness against. Yeah, it was unnecessary roughness against somebody on the Rebels after that play. So they're going to move it back, and they'll be kicking off from their own 20. No, sorry, I guess they're 30 because they kick off from the 45.
So here's the extra point. Zion the holder. Charlie kicks it right through. So tack on one more. That makes it 33-0 here, as we are just about towards the end of the first half here. And boy, if that was the game plan to get the ball to Zion, they did that in the first half for sure.
Well, it certainly, when they opened the game, it looked like they were forcing it to him, but now it's kind of starting to flow. And, where he's such a good athlete, he's able to find the open areas, and he glides. He's just just an athlete. Yeah, so the Rams, they're walking off with their hands on their hips, and they know their season's done. They're here to play the game and do the best you can. Pad your stats if you want to, if you can try to. But, you're also up against a pretty good football team, and it's tough. It's tough to get your mind into it, to continue with that upper feeling, you know, that, yeah, we can make this work. But if they can get in the end zone, that changes a lot of mentally about a lot of things. But you got to make things happen. Everybody's got to throw their blocks in this one. Allow Tedeschi, but so they're getting in behind the blocks, and Natal had nowhere to run on that return.
A crushing hit by the Rebels special teams unit. And Natal looks like he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit there. That was a big collision. Was that Ryan Vincent in there?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Huge hit by the running back on the special teams unit. We got to look one more time on the replay.
Yeah, just, you know, the Rebels are getting in behind the first level of Ram blocking, and you outnumber the second line of defense, if you will, and the receiver has nowhere to go. You know, he's going to get hit. You know, all the angles are cut down, so you just sort of got to take your medicine, and we'll start from where I get tackled.
Here is Polina Hooper on first down, and a little bit of a miscommunication there as his intended receiver, Tyson Galli, wasn't even looking for the football.
Yeah, again, like you say, just a miscommunication between the quarterback, what he was thinking, and what the running back or the receiver was thinking.
So that makes it 2nd and 10. And clock's at 48.2 seconds. And Hooper got 2 backs in the backfield. Receivers in motion. And here comes some pressure from the Rebels. And running back just going to have to scoot away from pressure, as that was Reese Stewart on the handle. And we have an injured Ram on the field here.
Yeah, Reese giving Bruce a little bit of a breather, and it's also a good time, you know, when you are in a situation that the Rams are in with, you know, their playoff hopes are gone, and you can get the younger guys in. But mind you, with the injuries they've had, you know, they've probably had the young guys playing all year, and they know what they're looking at. And now you just got to hope that everybody was excited about being part of this historic Rams organization. They've been around a long time and have always been very, very good. Get everybody back, and then you just start all over. You take this year, and as I say, you flush it away, and you start 2026 brand new.
Don't quite have a number on this injured Langley Ram, but we'll get it to you when we get it here. Looks like they're about to get up on their own power. 56 is the number, and that's Krish Prasad. So it looks like Krish is going to be all right. He's going to need a little bit of help to get off the field, but good to see him again on his own power. We've seen a number of players go down today, but for the most part, everyone's been able to get up and get off the field under their own 2 legs, which is good to see, especially late in the season here.
Yeah, and looks like an ankle for sure, because he's putting weight on it, but you can't bend it. So give an opportunity here to get the training staff take a look at it. The rebound crew are quality trainers and rehab to work with these young guys.
So here is a punt, and Ryan Vincent nearly got in there again. Good punt there, though, and Tyrell Hoffland going to start near his own 25. He's going to cut to the outside. Here comes the tackle. He misses, and he is going to make a big hit, as that was helmet to helmet there, as that was Makeen Al-Nahar making the tackle near midfield, and the Rebels going to get one more chance, but they're going to have to work quick as there's only 23 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to start right at midfield at the 55.
Yeah, great punt. It was out-punted the coverage, so that's going to give Tyrell time to make things happen. And his guys spread out, and he just used his speed, and he tight ropes the sideline here before the boom is landed right there. And but the Rebels, like I say, with 23 seconds, get an opportunity here to add to their lead. And
so Rebels going to have to work quick here as Carter Williams back on the field here. Receivers in motion. Session got time to look. Here comes the pressure in the pocket. He rolls out to his left. And Session looking downfield. And that one going to be caught by Tristan Ramos-Aravallo. Is he inbounds? No, he is not.
Staying out of bounds, but 13 seconds left. You Got a couple plays, go to the end zone. Excuse me. Yeah, the Rams just, try to keep them out of the end zone, go in and talk it over at halftime and make some adjustments so you can, say, okay, we're gonna score twice. Let's get 2 first downs in a row. Have some simple things to start with, and then slowly build upon them, and then you get everybody playing their position and not trying to do somebody else's job as well, and you can make things happen.
Session going to throw up the middle, and it is going to be caught by Zion Brown. I don't know how he made that catch. That was through the wickets of 2 Rams defenders, and he is going to make that catch. That moves the chains to the 35, and we're going to have 1 play left here in the first half.
An injury.
But it looks like there's another Ram down on the field here.
Yeah, you can see on this pass, Sean Cullen 0 for the, thought he had it.
Oh,
right through his hands,
so
and Zion just kept it. And that's tough. That's tough to do. Concentrate on it, and then have some blur come across to obscure the football from your eyesight, and you can still make the catch. That's pretty darn good.
So it looks like a shoulder injury here. On the replay, we saw it a little bit there. Sam Laspa.
So Zion they keep targeting him in this game. He could end up being in the 70s for receptions this year. Because what's he got now? 63, I think.
I told you I'm not keeping track, Paul.
Yeah, because I forgot. My attention span is, not really long.
So it looks like they're going to be able to get Sam off the field here, but it's definitely a shoulder, collarbone, that kind of area injury, and he's going to come off on his own power, which, again, we love to see. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery for Sam. He'll go get checked out, and we've got 1 play, well, 1 maybe 2 plays left of football here in the first half.
It looks like they're going to try a field goal try here.
So Charlie Wiersma, this is about a 43-yard field goal attempt, I'm going to call it.
40.
So Charlie Wiersma, let's see what you've got in that leg here. As here comes the snap, the good hold.
This would be his longest of the year. He gets it, and it did.
There it is through the uprights as Charlie Wiersma fired up, puts 3 more points on the board. It is 36-0 Rebels. And we are zeros on the clock, but we'll wait for the final call from the officials.
Yeah, that was a roughing the kicker. So that would move the ball up if they want to 15 yards, take the points off the board, or just decline it and go into halftime. And
so let's wait and see here.
I guess, I don't know, nobody's moving, so they might be moving it up 15.
Sounds like it's after kickoff.
Oh, okay, so they'll take it on the kickoff. They're going to keep the points on the board, so field goal's good.
Man, these kids don't know how to have fun, Paul.
Yeah.
All smiles from the Westshore sideline as they head into the locker room with a healthy 36-0 lead here at the first half. Paul, your final thoughts on what has been all Rebels thus far?
Well, just, a combination of the Rebels wanting to improve upon the last 2 games that they lost, concentrate, move the football, do the little things to help you be better. They cut down on their penalties. And for the Rams, it's a game that, they came in knowing it was going to be very, very difficult to win here. And when your season's over, you're kind of like your mood is over as well. So I'm just glad that got out of the half with no major injuries and or silliness on the field. And we'll see a second half that I would assume the Rebels will be giving some guys some rest. Some of the guys that have the little naggy injuries that possibly say, okay, it's time to sit you down for because we got the bye next week, give you a good rest.
So it is 36-0 Rebels at the end of the first half. We're going to step aside for some commercial breaks, but we'll be back in about 15 minutes for second half coverage down here at Starlight Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. It's 36-0 Rebels, and we will be back with you at the beginning of the second half.
Hey, this is Gio Lanuzzi. I'm from Victoria.
My name is Xavier Venkatea. I'm from Burnaby, British Columbia.
This is Cameron Cohen from North Vancouver.
Carl Hofflin. I'm from Airdrie, Alberta.
Hey, it's Marino Diella. I'm from Victoria, and this is Know Your Rebels.
What's your favorite movie?
Right now it's gonna be Sinners. Just came out. Love that. The soundtrack's amazing on that movie.
I don't even know. Probably White Chicks, to be honest. It's good.
I don't even watch movies like that for real.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Good. You want to come out too? Are you gonna go see that?
I already watched it.
And?
It's okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? Michael Jordan, for sure.
Dan Marino.
Hi, Dan.
All time, definitely Bo Jackson. Love the dual sport, baseball, football. Love that. And I'm a Raiders fan, so.
Tyreek Hill.
Le'Veon Bell.
What's your favorite video game?
Right now, this new game, Rematch, just came out. Soccer, kind of like Rocket League kind of mix. It's nice, yeah.
Probably Rocket League.
This is Rocket League!
I'd say COD. I used to play a lot of COD.
I don't really play anymore.
What was your favorite video game?
Fortnite.
Right now I'm playing Marvel Rivals and a little bit of Grow Your Garden on Roblox.
If you had to pick one, who is the GOAT?
My mom.
Prime Cam Newton.
Probably Muhammad Ali, just influential person all around, and just in boxing, so yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Tom Brady's stories, it's amazing, but Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all on the same level, you know? It's like the mental, that's where it's at.
Dan Marino. I have to.
Were you named after Dan Marino?
I wasn't,
No.
but I have to like him. I can't not like him.
Yeah, my name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range and a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
Show me around. Tip of our fingers, well, I never found all of the places we'll go where we are. Doors shut and open, well, life's never far behind. All these places are unknown to me. All these things that we'll see when we go.
We're all looking for it. A place to reignite your soul and to awaken your inner child. To leave feeling awestruck, not because of the destination, but because of the journey itself. Take a deep breath and smell the freshness of the air. Listen to nature's music. Look out onto the vast horizon. Indulge in locally foraged food. Feel the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the ocean. Let your senses come alive.
Hi, I'm Jonah Anderson from Port Alberni, BC.
I'm Charlie Wiersma. I'm from Airdrie, Alberta. I'm Bronson Pfeiffer. I'm from Victoria, BC, Canada.
My name is Ben Matai. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
I'm PJ Hudson from the UK, and this is Know Your Rebels. What's your favorite snack food?
Chips, they're my weakness. I get bored of flavors, so I'm always getting something new. I like to say with Doritos though.
I'd say probably like biscuits, or you guys call them cookies. It's like a digestive, and it's got like chocolate on it. It's quite bad. I go for like a pack of those like 3 times a week.
I'm more of a vegetable guy, so I think like peas, some cut up cucumber, that type of stuff. I'm more into that, yeah.
Nice. I like sour cream and onion, not Lay's, Ruffles chips. I just like the, just like the texture,
I get made fun of this for a lot, but I really like chocolate covered jujubes.
What?
The next practice, I showed up with like 2 boxes, and I made sure that everybody had one, and I had maybe like 2 people out of the entire team who were like, yeah, this is good. So I caught a lot for that.
What sport would you play if you didn't play football?
When I was younger, I tried a lot of sports. I wasn't really good at soccer. I wasn't good at basketball really either. I probably would have done boxing, to be honest. I probably would have boxed. Or...
Soccer.
Hockey or volleyball. I like both of those. I got active in it with my family and stuff, and I just enjoy it.
I actually played soccer. I played in high school. I played ever since I was like 8 years old, so I play soccer.
Probably hockey. Hockey seems like a lot of fun. I know how to skate. I don't know how to stop.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. Yeah, easy answer. My dog's passed away, but I have cats right now, but I'm a dog person. I love dogs.
Definitely a dogs guy. Yeah, no cats for me.
Oh, dogs for sure. Yeah, I'm not really a big cat guy.
I have a similar personality to cats. I like just lounging around and keeping to myself.
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Is reflected in positions and names.
My name's Harold Skadberg. I'm co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land. We decided to change the name to more reflect our heritage.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
John and I have been partners since 1986.
In the old days, we bought lots and built houses and sold them, and we mostly build condo buildings now instead of single-family homes.
John and I go back to Norway quite a bit, getting ideas from there how to do things better. We're using solar panel on the roofs and electric car chargers. More and more people are driving electric, and we want to be prepared for the future and promote some healthy and environment-friendly options. And people seem to like that. We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Galbransson. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So I used to frame for Herald 20 years ago when I was just out of college. I became a lawyer down in California, and I was looking at my next step in my career, and I just took over as the president last year. And we have plans to expand what we've been doing by fourfold in the next couple years.
And now we're building very close to the downtown core of Langford, and we got mountains, we got snow, we got forest. Everything is in walking distance, basically. So you get a whole lot more for your money in Langford.
It's several years now being deemed or voted the best place in Canada to live. With all that, people are working from home and they're finding it kind of crowded in a lot of places, so we're trying to offer larger units for them.
And so what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range and a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
And welcome back here to Starlight Stadium as we're getting set to kick off our second half of action, the final half of the regular season here at Starlight. And Paul, it's all Rebels to this point, and if you're the Langley Rams, are you warming up the bus already?
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I think they could be thinking, what are we going to have to eat on the boat, maybe. When the buffet was around back in the day, that was when we would just go to Kelowna, because I always put the boots to us. That's what the kids were talking about on the bus trip home. Let's go. We'll all go up to the buffet, and they used to sneak in and all that, all that stuff. But yeah, no, I think the Rams. You might see a quarterback change here just to get the younger guys in. They're dressed 50 people, so they don't have a lot of extra guys, if you will, to make a stock change. But they're a proud football organization. They're going to try their hardest, but the best thing they can do right now is just say, let's go play some football, do the best we can, and when the game's over, shake hands, let's get on the bus and go home.
Yeah. What are we watching on the bus ride? Is it Cars? Is it Toy Story? Monsters Incorporated? Yeah. Maybe have a discussion about that.
No, they wouldn't have that. They'd have Reservoir Dogs or something to Die Hard.
And we are away for our second half coverage here as the Rams kick off, going from left to right in white. And Tyrell Hoffland, number 82, going to go out to the right. He's got some room to run. Here goes Tyrell Hoffland. Great return from number 82. He makes it near midfield there. And it looks like we've got a Rebel down on the far side of the field. And he's going to be able to get up on his own power, so he's going to be okay, as that's Any Oladunny. Fun name to say. And he looks like he's going to be all right, but a good return there from Tyrell on the first
yeah,
play.
it was. Once he got outside a little bit, he had all his blocking setting up that way. So it was, once they get the wall set, now you got to make people change their feet, change their eye level, change what they're looking at. And you're going to pick up a few little extra yards because of that. And if you can turn a corner, many things can happen.
And it looks like Iniel O'Dunny is still down on the far side of the field. Looked like he was going to get up under his own power, but he's now gone down to the field. So we're taking an extended break here, which gives us a chance, Paul, to talk about the CFL. You know, off the top of the show, we talked about the rule changes coming into place, but the BC Lions made big news yesterday as 3 games coming outside of BC Place next year. A preseason game right here at Starlight, but 2 regular season games at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna.
Oh, that's exciting. I think, and for the city of Kelowna, it's a huge, huge bonus. It'll be interesting because we haven't obviously seen the schedule yet from the BCFC perspective. When are the games? Are they going to impact Sun games? Field configuration is that part of phase 1 of the CFL's rule changes and their face of the game. So that would impact, you know, what they do with the field. But it also would allow the people of Kelowna and the surrounding area to come and support them. You know, and I think that's important for the Lions because they are a BC team. And, you know, they come over here this year and last year they played a game down in Royal Athletic Park. And it's huge to be able to do that. They practice in Kamloops. They spread the Lions name around and just going to garner more fans, more sponsors, up the whole bit. But I think it's great. I think it's the opportune time because of, you know, FIFA being in Vancouver to allow this to happen. But it'll be interesting to see once the schedule's set which games it'll be. When they say they're summertime games, but will the BCFC be going at that time? You know, so how's that going to impact the Okanagan Sun and different things like that?
Yeah, and just to throw a shameless plug in there, we were involved when the Lions did come to town here for the preseason game last year, and boy, oh boy, are they so great to work with.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Total professionals, and you know, we're obviously hoping we get to work with them again when they come back into town. But yeah, great fan support, great organization, and we're definitely excited that CFL football is coming back to the island.
Oh, no kidding. And it's, you know, like this, the NFL. It has its market up here. A lot of people follow the NFL, but at the end of the day, it's the CFL that is something that everybody just buys into because it's a Canadian game, you know, and especially now with the Canadian game being, or Canadian identity being questioned, that it's something you can rally around.
So Iniel O'Dunny off the field. And he's going to get looked at. Looks like he's going to be okay. It's 1st and 10 now for Gavin Session after the big run from Tyrell Hoffland on the kickoff return. There's a flag for holding on this play. So although Blair Van Bruchot makes the reception, I think this play is coming back.
Yeah, he got him as soon as Gavin got to the spun out of it to go to the right. The tackle grabbed hold of the Ram defender, and you can see on the replay as he spins out here, number 60 just grabs him right there, and that's when the penalty call is.
That will back up the Rebels 10 yards. So make that 1st and 20, and now Gavin Sessions going to have to do what he always does, pull out the Houdini act and make a big couple plays here to get a 1st down.
I've been doing it all year, so I can see why not now. But he has 2 downs here to pick up a 1st down, and we know what he can do with his arm, so it could only be one play.
Low snap here, and here comes the pressure. Session evades the pressure. He is going to throw downfield. He's got Zion Brown, and there's the Houdini act. A gain of 25 is Zion Brown with yet another reception. And there's another Langley Ram down, but looks like he's going to be okay. Man, Gavin Session can just avoid pressure. He is as slippery gets.
He certainly is, and you know, when he can see on the replays, he's moving. Now all the defenders are in a chase mode. They're chasing receivers because receivers are adjusting their routes to get open. And the rule of thumb is a receiver that's gone deep on a play, come back. A receiver that's gone short, go deep, and it just changes things up. But Gavin is just, like you say, very, very slippery. If he was an aquatic creature, he'd be an eel because he is so slippery.
Here is Carter Williams, and he cuts to the inside, but he is going to be brought down. Good job by the Rams D-line to make the tackle, and that's going to bring up 2nd and long here.
Yeah, and then what that'll do, you just only a 2-yard game, but what that does, it reminds the Rams that, hey, yeah, we can run too.
Mm-hmm. And Carter Williams, again, injured against Okanagan earlier this season. We haven't seen him a whole lot, but he is the #1 option back there when he is healthy. So we'll see how many reps he gets here in the second half, as he will definitely be important in the playoff run here, as Session on 2nd down gets good protection, throws up the middle, and he's got his man, Tristan Ramus-Aravallo, as he just hit himself inside the secondary, and that's a healthy gain. It'll move the chains once again.
Yeah, again, just a quick little pass. Keep your feet underneath him, make the reception, and get the first down. And you're in scoring territory right now. He's, and Gavin just said, hey, he's just comfortable back there, stands in the pocket, and flips it down. So. Yeah, Carter Williams, for the games he missed, coming into this game today, he was leading rusher, still on the Rebels.
By a good margin.
Yes. Gavin was 2nd. Session was 2nd in receptions.
Here is a throw to the end zone. Is it a touchdown? I don't know. It might be down at the 1 as Blair Van Bruschaat makes the reception. What a throw by Gavin Session. That was a bullet up the middle and a big reception, and the Rebels are knocking on the door again.
Yeah, that was looked like a kind of a mixed up on the reception or the receiving routes here, because as Gavin throws the football, the reception's made, but Zion's zipping right through there, so there might have been a mix-up on the call on who's going where. But again, just the calm, cool, collective guy. He's like James Bond. He's you can just say sit back there and have your drink and then do what you got to do.
So 1st and goal. Session looks left for the throw, and it is caught as Zion Brown has his 4th touchdown reception. Paul, we were joking about this in the first half. We might actually have to keep an eye out here. He's getting close to the touchdown record here, as that's another 6 points on the board for the Rebels.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the 4th or 2nd time this year he scored 4 in a game. And yeah, he's, like I say, these guys just they're like a hand in a glove. They fit so well together, and they make things exciting because everybody's now sees the potential of saying, hey, he's close to the record or yards or reception or whatever it is, and people take a look and then they concentrate.
So here's the extra point attempt. It is up. It is good. So that makes it 43-0 Rebels. And Zion Brown, 17 touchdowns on the year. Again, he's well over 1,000 receiving yards. He's got the record for receptions. I mean, I sound like a broken record here just in terms of bringing it up, but man, oh man, what a year.
A great year, and he's just not last year. He made things happen, but he just kind of exploded this year. And when the first game I saw him playing, I forget, they got 8 receptions, 100 and some odd yards, but it was kind of like, where'd this guy come from? And I know it takes a year or 2 years to sometimes for guys to get their feet underneath them, but he just continues on and on and on. And if he's got another year, the Rebels are going to be really, really, stocked for next year to say, hey, we have a legitimate chance hosting a Canadian Bowl championship and winning a Canadian Bowl championship.
So that kick went out of bounds near the goal line, I believe, as that's where the flag is thrown down. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, so that'll give the Rams the ball at their own 40-yard line, because I don't think he touched the ball before it went out. Yeah, anytime you kick the ball out of bounds on a kickoff, and the team the receiving team, if it's not touched, they have the option basically to say move it back, kick again, or we get the ball at our 40.
Right.
It makes it easier to just give it to them at the 40.
So Palena Hooper still in for the Rams. And on first down, he fakes the handoff. There's pressure, and that's going to be overthrown and incomplete as Rush Henderson, the intended receiver, number 86 for the Rams. He's been targeted a lot today. That one is going to go nowhere. It's going to be 2nd and long, and Palena Hooper visibly frustrated, and it's been one of those days for him.
Yeah, I think on this one here, I think he thought the receiver was going to go just a little bit wider and then cut underneath, but he had kept cut a little bit soon, and pass was over his head.
So 2nd and 10. Cooper's got 2 running backs in the backfield with him. 2 receivers in motion, takes the snap, looks to his left. He's going to go for a deep shot downfield, and it is going to be in and out, incomplete, as Ben Matai in on the coverage for the Rebels. And that was his number 1 receiver lurking there, is Tyson Gallier, looking for a deep play there, but nothing doing, and the Rams going to have to punt this football away.
Well, I think Gallier he had it in his hands, and I don't think Ben realized it was coming, and then it just kind of, as he closed the gap on him, the ball looked like it might have just tipped on the shoulder of Ben, and Gallier had no chance to get his hands on it. It was a very nice pass, though.
So here is a punt, and it's a rolling punt here aimed at Tyrell Hoffland, who picks up the ball, scans his options, but he's got white jerseys all around him, and he is going to be tackled almost immediately near the 40-yard line. And that's where this Rebels offense will take over here, and we've still got lots of football left, folks. 10 minutes still on the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and that was a good on the, Tyrell, did what he did, just get the ball, secure the football. The Rams had good coverage there, and that's one of the first times tonight that the Rams had covered that well on their punts, because a lot of the punts have been pretty deep, and they're out kicking the coverage team.
The Rebels offense back on the field again, where I believe we're on record watch here once again for Zion Brown, is now with 4 touchdowns today. He sits at 17, and barring Paul Short's knowledge, I think he needs 1 more to tie.
Well, there's probably somebody out there that's watching going, yeah, Short, you're an idiot. You don't know that. So, and that's the only thing that popped in my head was 18, and it's because, to be honest with you, I never looked at that. I didn't think that was achievable with 1 game left.
I'm trying to hunt down my insider on the Rebels sideline to see if I could get somebody to look it up for us, but see if I can get their attention at some point here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, because I know I'm pretty sure that the touchdown record is overall is 25, and that was running and receiving, and I think 24 of them were running. Oh, very nice run.
And there's our 3rd running back of the day, Antoine Daly. And look out, Jonah Anderson down for a moment, but looks like he's going to be okay. And in a game of this score, you don't want to see one of your starting linemen go down.
No, never. And when they put Antoine in, and here's a guy that he reminds me so much of Carter Williams, just the same type of moves. He's got that first step that makes people miss, and then he's able to cut on a dime and explode through the rest of the way. That's one of those, makes things happen with his feet, and that's the most positive part of it.
Daly keeps the motor chugging, and I think he's got a 1st down there. They're going to move the chains here, so Antoine Daly doing a good job on the ground, and the Rebels really flexing their run game here, which is something they really needed to do, given that the playoffs right around the corner here. It's another Rebels 1st down.
Yeah, and that's the only ingredient to me missing. They have a good kick game, but it's consistency in the running game that's going to be the difference in how far they go through the playoffs, in my opinion.
So a bit of an audible call here by Gavin Session. Receivers in motion, takes the snap, and it's a run play, and Daly going to look to the outside, but he is going to be tripped up right around the line of scrimmage there. Not much doing on the 1st down run there by Daly. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, Brody Mueller, number 15 from the Rams, he chased that down from behind, and he didn't commit to anything, because he just says, I'm going to run this guy down. You can see him as he makes the cut here. He's just keeping everything in front of him, and he's able to make the first contact and make the tackle.
So 2nd and 9. Rams going to look to make a stop here and force a punt. We haven't seen one of those from the Rebels in a while.
Yeah, maybe once or twice.
I think once
that,
today.
Yeah. Offside.
Zion Brown offside by about 20 yards. So this is going to be thrown, and there's a big hit.
That's interference.
Yeah, I would say so.
And
Not
we
sure
just got
what
a bench call, too.
What the thought process was there. This game could turn ugly here.
Yeah, and that's where the Rebels got to be smart. You know, it's if it does get to the point where there's a little bit of extracurricular activity and the Rebels get caught up in it, they could end up having players suspended for a playoff game, which could really hurt. And that's where they got to keep their cool, keep the heads on. You're already winning the game big. You don't have to add to it and to create something that's, you know, unpleasant. And it's also not very fun for the fans. So we got offside, interference, and probably objectionable conduct. Objectionable conduct, interference, those guys. Unnecessary roughness, those guys.
A lot of those guys.
Wow. So the Rams took all penalties but the one. So they took 3 on talking, interference, and unnecessary roughness.
Oh.
So that should move the ball about 10, 15, 20. Another about 30 yards
Jonah
up.
Anderson is doing the sign language for us. I think he said 40 yards. That's what I saw, 4-0. So I'm just doing the math on how far down the field that gets them. It gets them to about the 15, I think.
10, 20, 30, 35, 40-yard in penalty on one play.
Wow.
That's amazing. And I thought Zion Brown was offside.
He was.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they never called that.
Oh.
They said it was offside, was against the Rams.
Wow. Well. Now some explanations to both the coaches. And this will set up the Rebels in great field position as the ball's at the 15-yard line. And what looked like a free play for the Rams all of a sudden is now a red zone opportunity here for the Rebels.
Yeah, because I didn't see the head official signal offside against the Rebels, so it's just kind of like, okay, was somebody offside?
Well, the flags flew immediately off the line, which made, and we looked at Zion. He was about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage by the time the ball was snapped. So, I mean, you got to think that was the initial call.
But 40-yard penalty, that works out. You know, like it was objectionable conduct is 10, unnecessary roughness is 15, interference is 15. So there's your 40.
Right.
And they said offside. So maybe the offside. They bounced both offsides and they canceled out. Yeah, I don't know.
This is why you're here, Paul, because I would be a mess in here trying to figure all this stuff out.
Well, my son is the head official, so I'm going to definitely ask him, how did he mess that one up?
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't say that. They're doing the best they can, and tough situations sometimes for the officials to work because there's a lot of collateral stuff going on around them, and the best you can do is just what Chris tried to do there, explain it to the coaches what's going on. And coaches, I thought both Connor and Cole were great. Keep your cool.
So keep your eyes. Number 4, Zion Brown, is not quite in your frame. He's in the bottom left corner of your screen, and that's where Gavin looks initially. And here comes the pressure. Gavin going to need to avoid a couple tackles, and Gavin Session avoiding and still looking downfield, and now he's just going to take it himself. Gavin Sessions got 8 people looking at him, and he's finally brought down after he ran probably 40 yards for a gain of 8 yards. And, yeah, you deserve a breather after that one, Gavin.
Yeah,
and
no
we'll see
kidding.
where this is a gain of 5 after all of that.
But just through this whole replay, just watch how calm, cool, and collected he is. Knows exactly what he wants to do, how he has to perform to have success on this play. He's under control the whole time. Special player, that guy, for sure.
So after all that, we're 2nd and 5 near the 10-yard line. And the Rebels going to bring in an extra fullback there, Caden McNay, number 44. And they're going to fake the handoff and throw, and good
nice
play by the Rams defensive back. I don't got a number on that one. going to look it up here. Look at Lucas Gauthier, number 38, I believe, made that play to break that up, as that looked like a sure touchdown to Tyrell Hoffland. So great defensive play there by the Rams, and looks like the Rebels going to settle for a field goal here.
Yeah, no, that was a really good defensive play, how he defended that pass. But I thought the Rebels might have gone for this, you know, just to get Zion more touchdowns. But you can see on that other play that Gavin ran prior to that incomplete pass, he was looking at Zion the whole way. He was definitely looking to get the ball in his hands.
So Charlie Wiersma, after kicking a season-long 40-yarder, has a chip shot here, and that one is good. So 3 field goals, 3 for 3 for Charlie Wiersma, who's had his work cut out for him today. And that makes it 46-0 as we are midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, we're going to find out now if the Rams are going to make a change of quarterback. Looks like number 12, that's Tristan Clark coming in for Polina. And, you know, sure enough, make the change. He's had he's been in the game most of the year because of his, injuries and different things. And he's only 19 passes, completed 7 for 79 yards. But, a good chance here, young guy. Get him as much reps as you can against full speed action.
Some first down. It's a handoff to Bruce Jones. Nope, sorry, that's 39, not 28. So that would be Pharaoh Hassan. As the Rams also going to change up some personnel in the backfield as well. And why not?
Absolutely.
Get some fresh blood into the game, and it's a gain of about 1 on the first down run. And now second down, looks like the Rebels going to bring some heat here. They are really pressed up here. As Clark, receivers in motion, takes a snap. It's still a 4-man rush here for the Rebels, and a dump-off pass here to Hassan, who makes a good cut, and I think he's got the first down, as it looks like he broke the plane to move the chains. So nice play there by Clark and Hassan to team up, and I don't see the chains moving quite yet. We might need a measure, or?
No, I think they got it. Are they saying? Yeah, first down.
There we go. So nice play there by the Rams to move the chains.
Yeah, it was, and then brought Hassan in motion to get into the flat. But Clark was able to get outside a little bit pretty quick to make that completion. And athletic ability like that, he'll be staying around the junior game for a long time.
Here's a first down handoff up the gut, but Rebels D-line did a good job of snuffing that one out, and minimal gain at best makes it 2nd and long.
Yeah, just an handoff up the middle. Just get what you can and keep the clock going.
So 2nd and 8 here.
Now the goal for the Rams is get a first down. Get another first down. And, and whatever happens at the end of this drive, you can come off and feel good that, hey, we got some first downs. We did some positive things.
Clark gonna dump off. It's a slip screen here, and here goes Hassan down the sideline, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds well after the first down marker, gain of about 25. So the change at quarterback has inspired this Rams offense, and they are moving the chains here on this drive.
Well, they certainly got the bench excited on that play because they were cheering pretty loud. But no, it was a good call, and he was able to get Hassan slipped out, like you say, out of the backfield. But the Rebels had no idea, and it was a good time to call that screen pass because he had the lineman out in front of him, and everybody was working, in tandem to make the play a success.
So the Rams in Rebels territory for what feels like the first time in forever here. And Hassan loses the football, and he's just going to have to dive on top of this one as Rush Henderson pushing around some DBs here in the backfield. As again, the Rams getting a little frustrated here, down as much as they are, but lucky to still have the football after this fumble.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it just one of those ones that the pitch was a little bit too hot and he couldn't handle it. But then they get to that curricular activity in the backfield, and luckily there was no flags thrown. And because you'd be going backwards from where that ball was dead even farther.
So 2nd and 15 here, and the Rams are offside by a mile. So that will back them up even further. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Yeah, it's just, again, a change of quarterback, different rhythm in his cadence. Yeah, they've taken a page out of the Rebels book, and they've had a ton of penalty yards here in the second half so far, and it doesn't help. They're just backing up the whole time.
So the Rams going to need a huge play here to keep their offense on the field.
Yeah, Rebels is just a prevent. They got the DBs really deep.
So Clark going to make a big throw. He's got a man downfield, and it is intercepted by Cameron Cone. And he is going to run this one back a fair distance. Now going to go to his right. And flags are flying. There's a Rams player down on the field, and Cone going to be tackled right at midfield. As I'm not sure if it was a blindside block here, as we're going to need some medics out onto the field here. There are a plethora of flags. But bearing any penalties, that was Cameron Cone's 6th interception on the year. And now we got to make sure that this Rams player is all right. We'll take a quick look on the replay and see if we can see what happened here.
Yeah, it was a great interception by Cameron. He just got up as high as he could to make it. See him switch the ball here as he moves to his right, and you can't see the block, but it was probably just a block, and they might have been a low block at that, and that's why the penalty flag is thrown.
Again, I don't have a number for us at the moment of the injured Ram, but we haven't seen him move since he went down. And Rush Henderson has really lost his cool here on the sideline. And we have an out-of-town scoreboard update for you. The Valley Huskers had the lead at halftime over the Raiders, but the Raiders have had an inspired third quarter, and they lead the Valley Huskers 18-13 at the end of 3. So that's a game you're going to want to have on the multi-view, if you will, at the moment, because that's got some big-time playoff implications.
Oh, huge. Because a loss this week for the Huskers, that could eliminate the Huskers from playoff contention. You see the Raiders slip into 4th place. This could be serious because it's hope we don't have to call an ambulance. That would obviously slow a ton of stuff down, and talk about a record. It'd probably be a record for junior football, the number of games in the season you call an ambulance for.
Yeah. So we're hoping for that injured Rams player.
First lick.
Okay, it looked like a butt block. I think that's what he called. And not unnecessary roughness against both teams. We'll move the ball back from where he was tackled about 15 yards. But now our concern now, I think it was that number 67 that was down.
That sounds correct.
Aiden Perazola.
Yeah. So he's down. It looks like we're going to be in an extended break here. So we are going to step aside for a moment. And we're going to provide some updates here as we get them up in the booth here. The Rebels up 46-0 on the Rams, and we're going to take a step away here for an injury timeout.
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Rank is reflected in the positions and names.
Hey, this is Gio Lanuzzi. I'm from Victoria.
My name is Xavier Venkatea. I'm from Burnaby, British Columbia.
This is Cameron Cohen from North Vancouver.
Tyrell Hofflin. I'm from Airdrie, Alberta.
Hey, it's Marino Diella. I'm from Victoria, and this is Know Your Rebels.
What's your favorite movie?
Right now it's gonna be Sinners. Just came out. Love that. The soundtrack's amazing on that movie.
I don't even know. Probably White Chicks, to be honest. It's good.
I don't even watch movies like that for real.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Good. Do you want to come out too? Are you gonna
Yeah,
go see that?
I already watched it.
And?
It's okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? Michael Jordan, for sure.
Dan Marino.
Hi, Dan.
All time, definitely Bo Jackson. Love the dual sport, baseball, football, love that. And I'm a Raiders fan, so.
Tyreek Hill.
Le'Veon Bell.
What's your favorite video game?
Right now, this new game, Rematch, just came out, soccer, kind of like Rocket League kind of mix. It's nice, yeah.
Probably Rocket League.
This is Rocket League!
I'd say COD. I used to play a lot of COD.
I don't really play anymore.
What was your favorite video game?
Fortnite.
Right now I'm playing Marvel Rivals and a little bit of Grow Your Garden on Roblox.
If you had to pick one, who is the GOAT?
My mom.
Prime Cam Newton.
Probably Muhammad Ali, just influential person all around, and just in boxing, so yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Tom Brady's stories, it's amazing, but Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all on the same level, you know? It's like the mental, that's where it's at.
Dan Marino. I have to.
Were you named after Dan Marino?
I wasn't,
No.
but I have to like him. I can't not like him.
Yeah, my name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range in a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
Where are we going? Show me around. Tip of our fingers, well, I never found all of the places we'll go where we are. Doors shut and open, well, life's never far behind. All these places are unknown to me. All these things that we'll see when we go.
We're all looking for it. A place to reignite your soul and to awaken your inner child. To leave feeling awestruck, not because of the destination, but because of the journey itself. Take a deep breath and smell the freshness of the air. Listen to nature's music. Look out onto the vast horizon. Indulge in locally foraged food. Feel the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the ocean. Let your senses come alive.
We're back here at Starlight Stadium. The injured Langley Ram, Aiden Parazzolo, has been stretchered off the field. He's being looked at by medics. There's an ambulance on the way to the field, but we're going to try and get back to football here. We'll of course, provide you with any updates that we get on Aiden's condition. Again, it didn't look good, Paul.
No, it didn't.
It was
Not at
really
all.
hard to see, and he's currently being assessed. And again, we'll provide any updates as we get them. But yeah, it's been a tough year here, Paul.
It really has.
I think every game except for one, we've had at least one ambulance
Yep.
called in.
You bet.
So it's
and
the unfortunate reality of playing football. But
Yeah.
man, it's been hard.
And it's again, I always go back. They're just kids, just young guys playing football and having fun doing it.
Here is Tyrell Hoffland turning on the afterburners. No one's catching 82. That is a Rebels touchdown, and we are past the 50 mark here. And is Tyrell Hoffland hurt? No,
Yeah, it looked like he might have pulled something, maybe a bit of a calf, the way he pulled up a bit, but
I'm waiting for the joke in this celebration, but I haven't seen it so far. Did he actually pull something? Because that's not good. At first, it looked like it was one of those like fake injury celebrations, but I think Tyrell Hoffland might have actually hurt himself on this touchdown.
yeah, it could be hamstring too,
Oh, geez. Yeah, not good for the Rebels here if that's an actual injury, which it is.
It looks like
could be a cramp, though.
Could be a cramp.
So extra point is up, and it is good. 53-0 the score, and it looks like Tyrell is going to be okay, so we can all breathe a collective sigh of relief here.
Well, if he went down and he was missing, you're missing, more than just a receiver. You're missing one of the premier kick returners in the league as well. But for Aiden down there, the good part, I guess, is that he was on his stomach to begin with, and then they rolled him over to put him on a backboard. So maybe it's not as serious at this point, without obviously, he's going to go to the hospital to be checked over. But looks like right now they're taping his head, the helmet, to the board. It looks like, just trying to make sure nothing moves. I would suspect we'll see an ambulance soon and I hope the Rams have some support staff that can stay with them.
The Rebels kick this one off down the sideline. And don't have a number. It looks like Hassan on the return. He made about 12 cuts there before he's finally brought down just past the 35. And Ryan Vincent's slow to get up there for the Rebels. Looks like he's going to come off under his own power and be okay. And the Rams offense going to come back on the field at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Marcus Jones that returned that kick.
39.
39, sorry.
So it was Pharaoh Hassan.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of Bruce Jones here in the second half.
Tristan's still a quarterback.
Tristan Clark had a pretty promising first drive under center. And on first down here, he's going to hand off, and there's Bruce Jones. And he's going to be tackled pretty early on, as that looks like that's Bo Nevermont making the stop there for the Rebels, number 13, and small gain there. Gain of about 4 makes it 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and this whole game is slowed right down. Obviously the injury takes the steam out of a lot of the guys, but even the start of the second half, it was it slowed right down. It was kind of like I think all the players are thinking, okay, it's time to get out of here. Let's get this game over with.
So Clark under center here once again. 2 backs there, takes the handoff. It's Bruce Jones again, and this time it is Simon Kerr making the stop, and they're going to be tackled near the line of scrimmage, and now the Rams going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, I'd be interested who they got D for the Rebels. Good Zion back there. He's good. Gets his hands on this punt return. He could end up having a 200-yard day or more in all-purpose yards.
The clock runs. We're near the end of the third quarter here. Sunlight starting to fade away from this game, and it's another great punt.
Beautiful
and Zion
punt.
Brown, you have to go back to his own 20 to return this. And Zion Brown's got some room to run if he beats the edge here. And Zion Brown going to try and beat him, and good job there by the Rams special teams to make that tackle. as that is Lucas Gauthier. And there's an injured Rebel at center field there. It looks like Antoine Daly, perhaps 20, I can't get the number, 26 or 29.
Yeah, it looked like 29, but this was a good return by Zion. But, they stretch the field, they take it away from you.
So we'll get you a number on the injured Rebel shortly here. As again, it was in the same style of play that the injured Ram went down on, Aiden Perizolo.
Yeah, they're trying to, it's funny, they're trying to, there's talk in the CFL earlier in the year that they're going to reevaluate kickoffs. Because that's when most injuries occurs on the kick game, punting end or kick return, kickoff returning. But I don't know how you would do it. Like CFL-wise, it would eliminate jobs, and usually they're Canadians that are on those units. But we definitely have to make sure, as a football community, we're making the rules safe so all the young men that play can take part in a play knowing that unless something stupid happens, that they're not going to get hurt, or at least take the chances away of getting hurt.
So it is Antoine Daly, number 29, down on the field here. So looks like he's trying to get up under his own power, as Jordan Kranz, the punter, going to try and help him out. And good to see that. And here it is, bottom left of your screen, as looks like a block there is what caused the injury. So thank you, Scotty in the truck, for getting that racked up for us. Just for some context here, and hopefully Antoine is all right. A lot of injuries today, Paul.
There has been. There really has been.
I mean, we're in that time of year. There's only 2 weeks left in the season. I mean, the Rebels are already through 9 games. It's their final one. And you hate to see it, but first down here is Ryan Vincent going up the gut. A nice cut and gain of 8, maybe 9 there for Ryan Vincent. And again, one of the graduating players celebrated before the start of this game. And just, people from Saskatchewan, just a different breed of people, but they're just all so friendly and so kind. And every time I talk with Ryan, it's great.
Right, and it's like a part of the country that you know where you stand. I think that's how we got a lot of friends in Saskatoon and Regina due to football, but they're all the same. They're all friendly, outgoing, and they're there for you, and I find that we get out this part of the country, it's more about me rather than community, and I think that's probably part of the reason why they have success with sports, is because it's a community thing and people buy into it.
Zion Brown making that catch. Looked like a bit of a cross-up on the routes between the Rebels receivers. Two receivers went for one ball there.
And that happened a couple times, and they've been able to make the receptions, though, due to the ability of the kids, but that's something they're going to have to work out for sure when playoffs hit.
2nd and 6, Sessions staying in the pocket. He steps through, and he's going to throw downfield, and Charlie Wiersma, does he ring it in? No, he doesn't. And that would have set the bench on fire if Charlie was able to haul that one in, but it's incomplete. That brings up the 3rd down and also the end of the 3rd quarter, as we will flip sides here. And it looks like the Rebels want to go for this one on 3rd down. I don't know if they're going to get it.
Yeah, I think you'll see in the replay here that ball just tough to see it from the back angle there, but it did. From our angle, it did touch the ground. So it's the officials will call incomplete all day on that one.
And it looks like the Rebels going to punt this football away. Again, they've only done it twice, I think, today. So 3 punts and 3/4 of football, not bad. Not a bad clip.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Dante Meyer deep for the Rams, and he's the only one back there.
Good kick by Kranz, as he's done all season, and Meyer going to take this one and look up the gut, and there's about 4 Rebels who are right in there for the tackle. So Rams offense going to take over near their 30-yard line as we're almost into nighttime mode here at Starlight Stadium. The lights are on, illuminated, and oh boy, I forgot how cold it gets here, Paul.
Yeah, I
as we
know.
get to the end of the fall season.
We've been spoiled all year. You know, it's been warm, and this is the first time that there's a bit of chill in the air. But we're almost into October, though. So
yeah, that's
you know,
true. We're pretty lucky. We were just talking about Saskatchewan, and,
yeah.
and they're probably laughing at us saying it's cold out.
Oh, no kidding, eh?
You know,
yeah.
whatever it is, 14 degrees. Well, my watch says 18. It's not 18 degrees, but still a lot warmer than it is in Alberta and Saskatchewan, that's for sure. As on first down, it's Clark rolling out and passing, and there is a huge hit down the sidelines. Oh my goodness, that was a heavy collision, as that was Lucas balking on the reception and Max Teradash lowering the boom there. Holy moly.
I think I'd be getting Lucas into concussion protocol here, because he took a blow to the head right there on the cheek, and the way he went down, it was like he was dazed a little bit. But he did pick up a first down. He might not remember it, but
first down run, that's Hassan, and he barely breaks the line of scrimmage there. So
yeah, since Clark's been in, you know, they've had a bit more imagination. He's thrown the ball quite well, and they've been trying to get outside a bit more than they did in the first half. A lot of their plays the first half were up the middle, and so you got to pat him on the back that he's done a pretty good job here, considering, you know, where they're at, where their heads are at in this game. And
here's a slip screen pass, and it's worked out again as Hassan has some room down the left sideline. PJ Hudson tracks him down for the tackle, and he was another Rebel that's been injured the last couple of weeks, number 11, and he is a big presence when he's on the field for the Rebels.
He certainly is, and this is another nice play, and Hassan made a really nice catch here, keep his eye on the ball. But yeah, just, you know, pick up some yards, get what you can, get first downs, move the football, get in the end zone, you feel good about yourself.
So 1st and 10, another first down here for the Rams, who have found some success here with this Clark to Hassan connection. Receivers stall in motion, and here comes Hassan on the handoff up the middle, and this time it is Miles McPherson and the Rebels D-line who make the tackle. Not much to speak of there. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, that was the Rebels just stepped up there and said, not in my neighborhood, not right now. And the defense just swarmed all over Hassan on that one.
Yeah, we've seen most of the offenses in the BCFC transfer to the shotgun formation, but we've seen Clark be under center for, I'd say, a good 60% of his snaps here.
Yeah, and it's very, very rare, you know, to see a quarterback under center now, and it looks kind of funny.
Yeah. Empty backfield set here for the Rams on 2nd and 10, and
nobody there.
Wrong play call there, and a late flag by the officials here, as Clark thought he should have had somebody there, but there was no one within a country mile of that football.
That might have been holding or unnecessary roughness against the Rebels. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point, you know, it was pretty cordial in the first half, but there's been a couple late hits, a couple, you know, scrums where guys taking an extra shot, and both teams are kind of taking liberties on each other here in the second half.
Yeah, and getting that little bit of frustration, and you know, the Rams, they're going to be talking, they're going to be, you know, trying to get that little extra push in, and you know, the Rebels have to be disciplined enough not to respond. But you know, at this point, you know, we're up 53-0. You know, it doesn't really matter. You know, so they score a touchdown. Who cares? It's 53-6 or 7. But yeah, that's the discipline part of the game, where in 2 weeks it's going to count for real, because your season can come to an end real quickly. And
you'd sit down and wonder why. And that's the thing they got to really, really work through is these unnecessary penalties.
And again, when these two teams did meet in Week 7 in Langley, it was a 52-6 score that the Rebels took that by, so we're in the same vicinity. This play is blown dead before it even gets off.
A flag down, so it looks like offside Rams, I think they signaled.
So that'll back them up 5 yards, and we'll make it a 1st and 15 as the Rams nearing the red zone, I believe, for the first time
Offside
this
on
game.
the offense, 5 yards.
Yes.
Repeat first down.
They've been in their own red zone
Yes.
plenty of times.
Yeah. Yeah, tough game for the Rams as it's kind of been all season, tough mudding, and going to look to try and maybe finish this game off with more than a donut on the scoreboard here.
Well, that would be the goal because you don't want to. They got being shut out last week, 94-0. You don't want to get shut out 2 in a row. But again, just a tough year for these guys, and that's a nice run by Hassan.
Hassan has looked great when he's come into the game here as he made a couple men miss, and a sizable gain makes this 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 9 here.
If there's a replay of this one, he makes a move to his right, and he just explodes back to his left and accelerates through the hole, and really, really good run. I got a good 2nd and manageable anyway.
Yeah, 2nd and 9 here, and Clark going to try and make something happen here. Receivers in motion, takes a snap. Here comes a blitz from the Rebels, and the pressure gets to him as that's overthrown, incomplete, looking for Hassan, his #1 receiver here in the second half, but too much pressure there to make the play.
Well, it looks like Cole Barron's going to go for it here on 3rd down. Might as well go for the touchdown. But they've already turned the ball over a couple times already on turnover on downs, and that's demoralizing as well when those things happen. But
so let's see if the Rams can make this one stick. 3rd and 9, going end zone, and no one is even close to that ball, and that'll be incomplete and a turnover on downs.
And no flags on the field, so it's clean play, and Rebels take over possession at their own 29-yard line. So I think we'll see a quarterback change for the Rebs. Sure, yes, here we go.
Zachary Wetch into the game here. And again, he's looked pretty impressive in the couple games he has come into. He hasn't looked out of place.
No, that's for sure. And he's got a good tutor in front of him that he's going to learn from. And you got to make sure you stay sharp because the way Gavin puts his body on the line with running, you could be called upon at any time. So you got to make sure you're up and with the play and paying attention when you're on the bench and being involved mentally with what the play calls are, etc. But no, he's throwing the ball well, and that's one there. And
yeah, Zachary Wetch complete to his receiver there.
Zion's on the sideline, so
Logan Christie, yeah.
Might not see no records.
We'll wait and see here. Maybe they wait if they get close to go for it. He's the first man that would be onto the field if they were going to make a substitution. And I know that Zion knows where he's at.
And he's going to hang around Lervold all the time. And come on, coach. Coach, put me in, coach. Coach, come on.
And Wetch now on 2nd and 5. He's looking downfield into double coverage, and nearly complete.
That was a good pass. Very, very nice pass.
That would have been Oliver Cowan on the reception, but that was a great pass there by Wetch to try and make that happen, and looks like the Rebels going to punt this football away.
Yeah, I think if I was Zion, I'd probably tap Coach Lervold on the shoulder and say, "What's down there?" And when he looks down there, run on the other side and just run into the huddle.
Yeah, our man on the inside did confirm that Zion is one touchdown pass away. Again, we're not sure if it's a Rebels record or a BCFC record, but 18 was the number that was brought up to us. And again, with the 4 touchdowns today by Zion, puts him at 17 on the season.
That's just a tremendous. He can be very, very proud of himself.
Nearly blocked there as the Rams special teams got in there very quickly, but Jordan Kranz was very smart to think about that and kick it nice and high, and multiple pushing and shoving on the field here.
Yeah, once you get close to the bench, guys want to protect each other. Then there's always a few players that want to chirp, and there's always a few guys that want to get out there and maybe try to get a sucker punch in, if you will. But that's one of the things that the CFL is trying to mandate. Well, that's the change. One of the changes they're making for next year is to put the benches on opposite sides of the field.
It's probably a smart play.
Yeah, I think it's the way to go as well. And juniors talked about it, but we haven't done it because, like, you take here, you eliminate, a bunch of rows where people sit.
Right.
But you're relying on the coaches and the extra personnel on a bench to keep the players under control and in the box and that. So
Tristan Clark evades pressure, and he's just going to get rid of this ball as Manny Fatu, as well as Seth Beckwith, were deep in the backfield there trying to make a sack, and that was the smart play to make, and incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they got through pretty quick, and Tristan had to get on his horse and get out of there, and there was nobody to throw to, and he did the right thing, just throw it close to the receiver. Then it's 2nd down, you're not going to get sacked, and then it's not going to be intercepted as well.
So that makes it 2nd and 10 here, and Tristan Clark going to need to make a big reception here to keep the drive alive. And takes the snap. Rebels want an offside call. They're not going to get it, and that's in and out of the hands of Bruce Jones, and incomplete. So 3rd and 10, and the Rams going to have to punt this football away.
I think Bruce could smell green in front of him because that was a well set up screen. You can see on the replay here. He just dumps it off, and he's got blockers in front of him, but I think he, just a little bit of misconcentration, and the ball slipped out of his hands.
So out comes the punt team here for the Rams. Been busy today.
Very busy. He's punted very, very well, too.
Actually a new puncher there, 87. Sorry, just trying to keep on track. Blair Van Bruchot is the returner here for the Rebels, but he's got nowhere to go as 3 Rams come in on top of him. And here we go again. It's that time of the game here where tensions run high, and flags are all over the place. It's raining flags on the field.
No, they got to, like I said, Rebels got to keep their noses clean because somebody could be sitting watching the game in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was definitely some trash that was getting talked there.
Oh, yeah.
As Van Bruchot was on the ground, and the Rebels took exception to that. And everyone's walked away now, and now we've just got a mess of penalties to deal with, which is always what you want to do in a 53-0 football game in the 4th quarter.
That's true. With 8 minutes to go. And
yeah.
Well, there's certainly a bunch of penalties because
I count 4.
I haven't seen that many. 5. Yeah, I haven't seen that many flags on the ground since I drove through construction in downtown Victoria.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Oh, is there ever?
Even the highway. I mean, it's not done until 2028 or something
yes,
silly like
yeah.
that. Oh, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. When
it's just, and then there's new projects all the time. All new projects.
It's just a vicious cycle. Yeah, I could complain about traffic for longer than what's left in this football game, Paul. So let's not get down that. Let's not go down that route, shall we? While we're waiting for the officials to sort this out, just want to provide a quick update. I've been keeping an eye on the sideline here for Aiden Parazzolo. He's still on the sideline here. The ambulance hasn't shown up yet. They've been a little slow as of late. We were in the same kind of situation when Kamloops was here in town. I've seen him responsive. He's been talking to the medics and the training staff, and just waiting to get him transported to hospital here. So again, I'll update you if anything changes here. But again, I've seen him talking to some coaches, which is a good sign. And yeah, some of the players have gone by and checked in on him, which is good. And yeah, we're just hoping for Aiden a speedy recovery. Again, we don't really have a diagnosis of the injury. But
Westshore.
whatever it is, it's not good.
Actual contact. Langley.
And one day we'll get this ref mic.
Advance for the Westshore Rebels. First down.
Well, it looks like it was unnecessary roughness against the Rebels and 2 objectionable conducts against the Rams, so that the difference was 5 yards, so the ball moved up 5 yards from point ball dead on the kick. So Rebels in possession of their own 49.
Here is Ryan Vincent on first down, plunging his way through the pocket for another healthy gain of about 8. As Ryan Vincent, again, Antoine Daly went down earlier in the quarter. So Ryan Vincent, the number 1 back here down the stretch drive.
Yeah, that was a good run. The Rebels, that's what they've done well tonight, is they run up the middle, they make cuts, they get to the second level as quickly as they can. And again, that's something that they, you show some respect to the Rams, but that showing that respect that you can run on the Rams also says to other teams, they ran on the Rams. And so now they have to practice that, whoever they're going to play in the playoff, that the Rebels have got the run game not back. Maybe it's back, who knows?
Ryan Vincent keeps the wheels chugging, and that's a first down as Ryan Vincent, a hard man to tackle when he's got the motors churning like he did there.
Yeah, and again, he's one of those. Yeah, the Rebels have 2 types of backs. They've got the 2 shifty guys in Antoine and Carter. But when Ryan's running the football, he's got a ton of power behind him. He's a very, very strong and big back, a very big back.
So 1st and 10 as the Rebels march on to the Rams side of the football field, and Zachary Wetch going to hand this ball off again. And this time Ryan Vincent staying on his feet, but he is going to be met by 3 Rams and tackled near the line of scrimmage. We've got a couple players, a couple big men down. And I think it's Jonah Anderson, I believe.
Yeah, we've had a lot of linemen go down tonight.
And Jonah Anderson, the starting center of this team, one of the veteran leaders from Port Alberni. And he looks like he took a pretty good tumble there on the replay. And again, he took a hit earlier in the quarter where he stayed down for a few seconds. But
yes.
This time it seems like this one's going to keep him down. And you can see his frustration there on the replay too. Yeah. Again, this Rebels team has dealt with so many injuries to the O-line and the D-line. And when it's your center, I mean, that's
huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, because not everybody can snap the football, and takes a nice, even skill to do that. And a lot of guys don't want to do it, too, because you got to snap the football and get your hands up in front of you as quickly as possible. And some guys feel that they're not protected enough to be able to do that or quick enough. And looks like a knee, the way the work, or knee maybe.
Yeah, it's just been one of those nights, Paul.
Yeah, it's just the last game for the Rebels too, and then with the Rams, they've had their fair share of injuries. Reggie Ellie went down real early in the game, and they missing him in the backfield. He's up and a little mobile.
Jonah Anderson will come off under his own power, which again, if you're a Rebels fan or supporter, very, very good news that he's able to do that, because he's a very important part of that O-line and one of the veteran players on this team. And hopefully he's all right. He's got a week to take it easy and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, he's fist bumping, so he's might just, feeling okay, a little bit better anyway.
So 2nd and 8, and Wetch is going to air this one out. He's got a man. What a pass as Blair Van Bruschot makes the reception. But that is a great pass from Zachary Wetch, and that's a big Rebels first down.
Well, he took the snap, and it was only about a second and a half before he unloaded a beautiful pass right where it had to be. A wide open receiver.
sure you could hear it on our microphones, but the ambulance just arriving now. But we're going to continue playing on here.
Yeah, they'll get all that sorted, and like we say, we hope our
of course they
they
went the wrong way.
Aiden
Anyways.
is feeling a lot better now, and things are gonna. Oh, and it sounds like a Raiders final score was 27-13 for the Raiders in Chilliwack.
Zion Brown makes the catch. He's tied the record.
Amazing. Amazing.
5 touchdowns on the day for Zion Brown, and he ties the record at 18. We figured he'd get into the game at some point if it got close.
I think he snuck in. He had to sneak in because he was standing on the sideline. And, oh, man. And a nice pass by Zach as well. Just put it up to where Zion had to go up and get it over the defensive back. Just a great catch, great pass. Kudos to those two.
So now we're on real watch, because if he gets to 19, he breaks the record. And again, we don't know exactly what record he's breaking, but he is breaking a record.
He'll break a record for sure, yeah.
60-0, Rebels lead. And regardless if he breaks the record or not, and again, I'm getting into broken record territory, but what a season, Zion Brown. 13 touchdowns coming into the game. 5 receiving touchdowns here tonight puts him at 18 on the season.
Well, I know that he's definitely the leading scorer in the BCFC right now.
Oh,
there's
no one even
nobody close. I think the only guy close was Liam Atwood from the Sun. Yeah, I think he had 92 points, but when you got 18 touchdowns, that's a lot of points.
Now, contrary to belief, he's not doing an interview with us on the sideline here. I think he's maybe play calling now. he's going to the offensive coordinators to say thank you for getting me out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? There's 5 minutes left in this football game, so you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. If the defense does its job here, there's still lots of time on the clock to maybe get him the ball one more time.
Would they do that? Yeah, who knows? The Rams and Rebels don't have a great love between them.
I wouldn't say there's a handshake agreement in place
that's
to
for sure.
concede when you're up.
Yeah, and and the Rams understand. They understand. There's records involved in different things, and it's not like you're rubbing it in. It's just you're making plays, and they've got to make sure that they do what they have to do to stop them. You just can't lay down and roll over.
So there's a timeout on the field here. I believe the Rebels took it. Again, we've already seen the game ball or the touchdown ball go to Zion, and he's been hugging everybody on the sideline since he came back. So obviously those that are in the know knew that was up for grabs.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that was. Sorry, I totally cut you off there, Paul. What the Raiders? You got a final score for us now that we have a second.
Oh yeah, what was it? I forgot. 27-13.
Wow, big pull away in the fourth there.
Yeah, and the Huskers were playing pretty darn good football of late, but mind you, so were that's PI. I think I'd almost call that on the Rams, but they're going to call that on the Rebels for sure. Yeah, the Raiders, they had a good game last week. This was a real important game for them. This now moves them into fourth place, this win tonight. And if they've got Langley next week, so they win that, they'll make the playoffs. But then it comes down to
forward pass interference, defense, 15 yards.
Playoff time, playoff travel. You could see the Raiders going to Kelowna and Prince George coming here.
Yeah.
And for Tyler McLaren, president of BCFC, worst nightmare ever trying to figure out the financial part of that. But Tyler's good at it. He always gets it figured out.
So after the pass interference call, it's 1st and 10 near midfield, and here comes Hassan again, who has been a lightning bolt here for the Rams offense, and he's got close to a first down, if not a first down. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and short. So great second half here from Hassan. He's looked electric out of the backfield there.
Yeah, well, he got his chance, and he's taken advantage of it for sure. And when the Rebels are, well, I don't want to say they're playing soft, but there's some backups in and different things. But the Rams, again, when you have success, you want to have more success. So they're going to try a little bit harder. There's going to be a bit more push, stay on your blocks a bit longer. But maybe they just feel good when Tristan came in at quarterback that we had some success, and let's keep that going.
So Clark going to Hassan on 2nd and short, and P.J. Hudson gets into the backfield and makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. So that makes it 3rd and short, and if you're the Rams, you got to go for this one.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing to lose. You're down 60-0, and that's a lot of points to give up in a game. Mind you, last week, 100 or 94. So I think they should try to get in the end zone. Get some points on the board. Doesn't matter what the final score is.
So under center is Tristan Clark. He is going to do a fullback run here, and that's going to be successful as the Rams are going to get the first down there. That is Lucas Bocking getting past the chains. That will move it for a Rams first down.
Yeah, we got somebody down here on the Rebels.
That's Simon Kerr.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the second half there's been a ton of small injuries and major injuries, with Aiden going down. And so now the Rebels can look forward to, as this game down in the last 3 minutes, and week off, get the injuries healed, get a good rest in, some good practice sessions, because it looks like you're going to be hosting the Prince George Kodiaks for the semifinal. You've already played them. They've got the long trip ahead of them coming into your gym, so you jump on them. You'd be going to, I would assume Kelowna would be playing, at this point, playing the Raiders. But, it's, it's tough because Prince George is playing pretty good ball as well, coming down the stretch here. And so you got to be prepared. You got to prepare for every team in the BCFC, and that's the one thing all the coaches understand that. They got to make sure all their guys are well prepped for the team they're playing and understand what they run, what their thinking is, and just go out and execute and do your job.
That first down pass was incomplete, as Cam Neal was the intended receiver there.
Right at the 3-minute warning.
3 minutes left of regular season football here at Starlight Stadium, and again in 2 weeks' time. Not sure who the opponent will be yet. Likely the Prince George Kodiaks. Is on a screen pass there. Is caught, but a great job by Bronson Pfeiffer to read the play and make the tackle, as Marcus Jones was the receiver on that one. But not much doing, and special teams unit out here for the Rams. So again, in 2 weeks' time, the Rebels will be hosting a playoff game. Likely the Prince George Kodiaks. Almost confirmed it's the Prince George Kodiaks, actually.
Yeah,
of it now.
I would think, yeah.
So make sure that, if you're a football fan here in Victoria, you get down here, because this Rebels team has a chance to do something special this year. And with the way the playoff format works, if they are to win the Cullen Cup, they would host a national semifinal game here at Starlight Stadium, which I know a lot of people here are hoping for. So make sure you get out here and support the Rebels, as this punt takes a good bounce here for the Rams. And Bronson Pfeiffer going to start at his own 2-yard line.
He's got a wall.
He's got a wall to work with here down the sideline. Going to try and cut in the middle. And he is going to be met finally and brought out of bounds near the 40. As Bronson Pfeiffer, good return there. Not usually one of their regular returners, but he did a good job there.
Yeah, he certainly did. And once they got the wall set up, he picked up about another 30 yards due to that. You can see here the ball went over his head and he let it bounce, picks it up, and he just kept his eyes upfield. Everybody just got in front of him and said, let's get as far as we can go. And the good thing about it, on a play like that, where the ball's on the ground and you're running, stretching it out, there was no penalty flag, so everybody did blocked who they had to block properly. But yeah, they got to congratulate the Prince George Kodiaks. It's their 4th year in the league and first time in the playoffs. And Coach Jamie Borum and his staff have to be congratulated for doing what they had to do to improve, and they've been improving every year. Oh.
There's a beautiful catch by Josh Nevin. Flag on the play, and Zion Brown is putting the football helmet on. He is going to get into this game to try and break this record. I figured that was going to be the case.
This was a beautiful pass. Yeah, it's PI against the Rams, so the Rebels will decline that. So it's going to give the Rebels a first down at the Rams' 30-yard line. But that was Zach just dropped that right into the basket. If he was on a commercial on TV shooting hoops, that would have been perfect. Just perfect.
So now all eyes on number 4, Zion Brown. He's tied the record. He's got 5 touchdowns today. He is going for number 6 here. Stay glued because it is going to him. They are going single-man coverage. What are you doing, Langley? You know who it's going to. Zion Brown downfield. Here comes the ball. Will he get it? Yes, he will! No, he won't!
No.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Hold on.
And they got a Ram player down. I thought he had it there, but if obviously the officials are closer than.
Can we get a replay of that, please?
If they, again, a pass that was perfect. Over the head.
Oh,
yeah, you can see it dropped out. That was close. That was close. Zion tried to sell it, but what you have to do.
Oh, we still got more plays here. It could still happen. Minute 42. Why would the Rams maybe they're just, giving it to him, but you're putting him in single coverage down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think
everyone in this building knew where that ball was going.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Absolutely. But maybe they don't. See, that's the other thing is they know he scored some touchdowns, but maybe they don't realize he's close to a record. But yeah, you got to honor since you had the 4 receivers split out to the left, you really have to honor that because you can do a lot of different things with patterns and routes. But yeah, if you get man-to-man on the backside, 1-on-1, anytime, you got to put it up.
So I believe, just going back to the injured Ram down there at the far end of the field, I believe that was Sam Laspa, who was the defensive back who was in coverage on Zion.
Yes.
And he took a bad fall into the gates back there. It's not exactly a smooth fall into those, even though they look like they're padded. It's still a wall. So he is working on that.
Looks like he's up on his knees anyway. He was on his back for a while, and they got a neck brace on Aiden there as he's being wheeled to the ambulance.
And again, we wish Aiden all the best. As there you see Aiden going to go off, and yeah, just hard to see. But again, hope that the Rams training staff has someone that can stay with him and.
There's precautionary as well. You get him to the hospital, he'll be cared for. They'll get some X-rays, and it might just be a sprain. It could, you don't want to think the worst, but but it allows peace of mind for the players as well as obviously his parents, because somebody's been in contact with them that your son's been injured and he's going to hospital. It's probably the worst phone call you could get, but. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it makes everybody feel better, and we just gotta again keep our thoughts about. I got another penalty here. I guess someone's going against the Rebels. That's talking penalty against the Rebels.
So Sam Laspa, I believe it was because Sam Laspa's going down the Rebels sideline here. Somebody must have said something.
because it pushes the Rebels back. It takes, now you're little things, you're trying to get Zion this record, and then you do something silly like that. You push them out of, and then you go and you sit in the change room afterwards, and you're not celebrating the win, but you're talking about we coulda, woulda, shoulda, and
Yeah.
and it's just all self-inflicted. Man to man again, same formation.
So this time the Rams are prepared for the Zion ball as they've got 2 DBs, but that doesn't matter. They're still going to go for it, and no way Zion was going to get there as Wetch aired it out as best he could, but it's not going to happen. The last play was probably the last chance at it, but who knows? We still got a minute and a half on the board here. The Rebels defense could come up with a stop. But man, oh man, what drama! in a 60-0 game, we had to have a little bit of drama late.
Well, that's it, eh? How do you top that? He's scored what, 6 touchdowns today? 5?
4, 5, going for 6. Yeah.
Going for 6. Wow. It's just you have to have, like you say, in a game like this, there's something that's going to keep the interest, and that certainly was for us anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully they announced it to the fans as well that Zion was close to the record.
Oh man, if he reeled in that one, that would have set the roof off this place.
It really would have. It really would have.
Oh boy. Well, after that punt goes out of bounds, just to get back on track here, 1:28 left in this football game, 60-0 your score, and the Rams trying to break the donut here. They've got one more possession. Haven't had a lot to be excited about in this game. Again, the change of quarterback and Pharaoh Hassan having a strong second half, maybe some positives, but it's been a tough couple weeks for this Rams program.
It really has, and it's been a tough year for them. 2 wins, that hasn't happened since 1979, I think it was. So just one of those things that you get to reevaluate. Okay, look at the season, say, okay, this is where we were. This is what happened. What can we do to make sure that for next year we're going to get better? And it's a hill to climb, but they're an experienced old time organization. They are the oldest in the BCFC. 1976 was their first year, and so they'll fix it. It's a proud organization, that's for sure.
Here's a snap on first down as Hassan tries to get out of his own goal line. He gets a gain of a few there.
Yeah, they had on that punt return, there was a unnecessary roughness penalty against the Rams. That's whether they started with inside their own 5-yard line.
And I think the Rams are having issues with their play calling system as Clark has had to come out a couple times, and they're having to switch personnel on every play to relay the plays, which is never a fun time for the offensive coordinator, and also leaves you pretty susceptible to too many men penalties or personnel issues.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what another challenge that the Rams are working with here on this drive. So Clark here, second and about 7, throws the ball. It is caught, and a big hit by Miles McPherson. As it's a short gain, if anything, and the Rebels are going to get the football back here.
At 52 seconds.
And they might have pretty good field position because they did not allow very many yards here, as the Rams are going to be punting near their own goal line here. So the Zion Brown watch continues here with 52 seconds left in this game.
I see him on the sideline, but I don't see him getting his helmet ready to go. Coaches might, they know they're going to throw to him, so.
Yeah, it's almost like on first down you have to run the football or throw it to somebody else to maybe
yeah,
lose the scent.
Yeah.
I mean, they've thrown it to him about 4 plays in a row here, so it's not a secret what they were going for. And, fake safety. Oh, now he's going to take the safety. Oh, that would have been something else, as Sartak Dosang was looking like he was going to try and make something happen, but he'll give up the 2 points, make it 62-0.
That was smart to do that. Yeah, there's no sense.
Cheeky.
So the Rebels, they'll have a couple plays here. you know, 38 seconds, but now you're starting at your own 35-yard line. It makes it for a long field. And see Zion still standing on the sideline, so yeah, his night's done.
Well, he's got the helmet on, so again, this is kind of in the same scenario we got to on the last drive, as if I bet you they go for a big play on the first play here, and if they get it,
yeah, they'll put him in,
then they'll bring him back out
or maybe sneak him off the sideline. Somebody run down, and he just jumps in, and the other guy runs off, and nobody, the officials, they wouldn't know the difference.
Nope. Zachary Wetch taking over at the 35. Receivers in motion. And they're going to hand the football off here. Ryan Vincent. Holy cow, Ryan Vincent. Get going, Ryan. Get going, Ryan. Down the left sideline, tackled at the 30. The Rebels have a timeout to use, and Zion Brown put on the helmet.
Field. Wow.
You're going in. Oh, my goodness. Just when you think you've seen it all, Paul.
Well, this was a great run by Ryan. They got some good blocks, and he got a little seam. The receivers were blocking, and then he just turned on some speed until he gets, caught from behind because he was being sliced to the sideline. But that gives him the football, and since he was out of bounds, the clock doesn't start until the snap of the football, and they're sitting at their own 30 at the Rams' 34-yard line, and Zion now split up to the left, but
top left of your screen. Receivers in motion. Wetch takes the snap. He's looking deep. There's Zion. Ball's coming and incomplete. I thought that could have been a PI call.
I did too.
What are we? Man, I'm surprised. I'll leave it at that. I thought for sure that was a flag.
Well, there it's like on this play here, everybody's zooming in. The Rams really.
Right there.
Oh
Jersey,
yeah, that's definitely
Jersey.
print. That's PI. But I guess they're not going to call it based on the score. But maybe what they should do, the Rams are bailing out real quick on the play. As soon as the ball's snapped, to get deep so Zion doesn't get deep, run him underneath and then let him use his speed and his agility to outrun everybody to the end zone.
Second down is a run play for Ryan Vincent, trying to get some extra yards, but nothing there.
And this will be the last play because the clock will start on the snap. So maybe this is where you go to the end zone.
Third down. 5 yards to the first down marker. I mean, if you check it down, you've got a timeout left. Or no, the clock runs now. So, yes, this is the final play. So, if they're going to get it, this is where they're going to get it. And the Rams not lined up really in a great position for the double coverage. So, here you go. This is the play. Wetch takes a snap, looking for Zion. Here it comes. Here's the throw. And it is going to be incomplete.
Oh, out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Made the catch, but out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness, the drama.
And there's your final.
That's the football game, folks. We were so close on multiple occasions to the record being broken. But, hey, he only had 5 touchdowns, Paul.
Yeah. You can't be upset. Yeah, he was way out of bounds when he made this catch. But he still made the catch. That's what he does. He's a magnet. He catches the football. Now you got to congratulate the Rebels on the season. 7-3. They lost the previous 2 to this, and they come back and win their season finale. But overall, Coach Brian has to be congratulated, his entire staff, because last year, they had a good year. Then they kind of did what they did this year, kind of went downhill a little bit towards the end. So maybe they'll mirror what they did last year, get to the Cullen Cup final, and maybe the outcome will be a bit different than it ended up last year. But congratulations to the Rams. They had a lot of hardship this year. They got a game to go. But, you come through injuries. It takes a while to right the ship. And if they keep the course, they're going to be back here and definite in the mix with everybody next year.
So it's 62-0 Rebels, your final score here. The final regular season game here for the Rebels. It's on to the playoffs. They're hosting in 2 weeks' time. And we hope to see you either down here at Starlight Stadium or tuned in to BCFC TV. It's going to be a fun ride. And tonight was just a microcosm of what makes them so great. Paul, any final thoughts on the last regular season game here as we're into playoffs now?
I can't believe how fast it went. I really can't. And it's just one of those things that I love this level of football, and there's nothing like junior football. And to be able to associate with young men like this, coaches, the young coaches, I just feel good about it, and I can't wait for the playoffs. As a matter of fact, we're thinking of driving up to Nanaimo next week just to watch the game, you know, just to get that last one in. But, yeah, I love this level. I really love this game, and especially at this level.
Well, that's where we will leave you. Regular season done for the Rebels. They've secured second place for the Rams. Well, it's going to be next year if they're going to be into the postseason mix. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope to see you in a couple weeks. Final score here from Starlight Stadium, Rebels 62, Rams nothing. Again, we hope to see you down here for the playoffs. Until then, from all of our role-focused crew, the very talented Nikki Haysom, our director, Morgan Miles, our producer, all our camera ops, and Paul, it's been fun. Let's do it a couple more times this year, shall we?
Absolutely. And Tyler, you're the ultimate professional. I just love working with you, you know, and I feel comfortable around you. You know, I'm not one that enjoys speaking publicly, if you will. You know, I like the small group team setting, but working with you, it's been just an honor. It really has.
We're all a team here, Paul. We're all a team. Well, thank you, everyone. 62-0 Rebels. It's on to the playoffs. Until then, be excellent to each other. Good night.